What's up? What's up, everybody? Man, welcome back to another episode of The Rundown. I'm your host, as always, Drew Johnson. If you're new to the show, man, make sure you're hitting that like button, hitting that share button as you guys come on in. Really appreciate all the support, man. The feedback's been great. The viewership has been awesome. If you missed last night's show, man, do yourself a favor right now and go on Real News 102 and check that one out. I had my brother, Landon May of Polkway A63, to come on. We talked everything Florida football, but for sure we put the spotlight on Polk County, man. A lot of topics we covered last night. And for sure, one of my favorite segments on the rundown, man, is behind the playbook, to where I have some of the top coaches on in the state of Florida, man, to give you guys an exclusive insight on some of these men that are leading these student athletes, not just on the field, but off the field, creating culture, creating programs. Let's give an insight to some of these coaches, man. Kind of let them take the hat off a little bit and know who they are. So, of course, like I said, appreciate everybody that's been tapping in and giving feedback and supporting the show. But I got another behind the playbook segment for you guys tonight. Before I give you guys a preview, though, got to give a shout out to our sponsors as always, man. Of course, the main man. Shouts out to my brother, former Miami Hurricane standout, Polk County legend, Lance Leggett. Taste one boy peanuts, man. For sure, as I said last show, these are going to be getting around to a lot of student athletes' hands. So we're doing player of the months, standout student athletes, standout academics. We're trying to get them out there, man. So shouts out to my brother Lance. He does a great job. But if you've been tapped into the rundown, shouts out to the Quench Hydration family, dog. Trying to expand this thing a little bit in the state of Florida. You know, they big in hockey and whatnot with the hydration, but you programs, you student athletes, I did a giveaway. They love the brand. It tastes good. The package is good. The products are legit. So we're going to try to move the needle a little bit more with Quench. But shouts out to my sponsors, man, as we grow this thing. Hit that like button as you guys come on in. But, all right, another behind the playbook special tonight. Last night we had my dog, Coach Thomas, a real hometown hero for the Bloodhounds, right? He played for the Bloodhounds. Now he's coaching there, you know what I mean? So we got something else similar to that right here, man. This guy right here, returning to Titusville, man. Bringing that energy back. Shouts out to my brother PRMD Telly for making this one happen. But Coach Matt Diesel is in the building, man. The Diesel is in the building where he once played, walked the halls, and learned the game under his pops, man. Now, after helping lead Coco to 3 state titles as a defensive coordinator, he's taking over the Terriers with a plan to bring that same championship pedigree back home. Brevard County, stand up. They're in the building, man. They play ball out there. So shouts out to Diesel. I'm excited for this one for sure. But all right, I got another guest on, my brother, Coach Harvey. I don't know. I'm trying to make it happen for y'all. Them CCC boys, man. You already know what it is when they take the field. But from South Florida swag to Pinellas County powerhouse, Coach Chris Harvey has built CCC into a model of consistency with 92 wins, 6 regional titles, and 3 straight state championship appearances. The blueprint is set over there in CCC. So I want to have him on, you know what I mean? I'm hoping he taps in with me for you guys, but I got the Diesel waiting on me. So I ain't going to take too much more time. My brother is waiting on me. Let's go ahead and bring him in. This isn't just another coaching job. This is home for Diesel. Titusville High School is in the blood. And now he returns with one goal in mind: to elevate, inspire, and build a legacy with the same community that raised them. Welcome, Coach Matt Diesel.
Hey, thanks for having me. I appreciate it. What up? What up? Hey now.
What's up,
hey now.
man?
What's happening? What's happening?
Yeah, y'all see the energy?
Yep, let's go get them.
We're going to bring that gas with Diesel, man. But, Coach, hold on real quick. We got to start it off the right way, Coach. Let's open up with this. You played here. You met your wife here. Now you're coaching here. You turn as a head coach with your family beside you, man. But when did you first realize this was your calling? What does it mean to lead the program that helped shape your life, brother?
You know, it's a tremendous honor. You know, to be the head football coach at Titusville High School, my alumni that runs so deep in my family. You know, my mom and dad met there. And,
wow.
My mom and dad met at Titusville High School. They're graduates. Everybody in my family, all my aunts, uncles, my brothers, my cousins. You know, Titusville is deep in my bloodline, and it means a tremendous amount to be able to get back home and you know, do the very best job that we can do to put Titusville with its best foot forward.
Yeah. Hey, man, as we say, Coach, it's deeper than rap. You know what I mean? It's in the blood in Titusville,
It
man. It's
is.
bigger than football for this family and for this
Yep.
community. But you mentioned it, Coach. You coached under your dad here, you know what I mean? But now he's
I
back
did.
with you, along with your brother Scott, and around the
Yep.
program. That's 3 diesels
Yep.
around the program. What kind of emotions come with bringing this full circle moment to life with the people closest to you, brother?
You know, that's a good question because
Yeah.
I'm so caught up in the moment.
Right.
I'm worried about the day-to-day operations and
Yeah.
all the stuff that's going on. And as are my dad, my brother. But I
Yeah.
think for my dad, he spent 35 years in his
Wow.
entire career. He spent 35 years at Titusville High School. Started out
Man.
PE biology, and throughout the years was an athletic director for I think 15, 16 years. Finished up probably his last 8, 10 years somewhere in there in administration.
Yeah.
Was a head football coach for 13 years. He grew up going to Terrier games. His older brother played for the Titusville. So,
Man.
so I think for him, it's kind of a full circle thing, and to be back in the very same locker rooms, in the same coach's office,
Yeah.
same weight room that I grew up in,
Wow.
that he played in and coached in. And then Titusville is one of those towns where everybody knows everybody,
I
and so
see.
guys, yeah, so a lot of the guys on our roster, I may have coached their older brother or a cousin or
Mm,
what have you, and if I didn't, my dad certainly did. So
right.
you know it's a real tight knit community,
Yeah.
and for us to be able to get back with all the people that we literally spent our whole life with,
Mm,
kind of give you a little. My defensive line coach, Coach Onion, him and
yeah.
I were in the same first grade class. We've known
Oh
each other
my,
since we were 6 years
it
old.
go way back, man.
Yeah, I
That's
mean that's how Titusville is. It means more than just showing up and to win football games, and of course the
yeah,
ultimate goal is a state championship.
for
But
sure.
all that is great, no doubt about it. But it means so much when you're in the environment with people that you've literally known your whole life, and they've and vice versa.
Yeah.
And to have those people support you and be around you, it really means the world.
Coach, man, I'm coming from Polk County, so I kind of resonate a
Yeah,
little bit, right? You got to be a Polk. It's in the blood for us out here. But I'm
yeah.
seeing you talking about Titusville, man. I hear Telly talking about it. It's real. Like I said, it's deeper than rap. What is it about for people that's watching right now, Coach? They might not understand about this Titusville community.
That's right.
What was the initial reaction like when they heard Diesel's coming back? And how's, I guess, the community investment been like since you taken over reigns, brother? What is it about
Man,
this
listen.
Titusville people, man?
The,
Tell us a little bit.
first, for the Titusville people are,
Yeah,
I was listening to kind of see how this was going to go. I checked out
yeah,
some of your interview that you did with the
yeah.
guy,
Oh, Coach Thomas,
Bloodhound.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Bloodhounds, yeah.
Bloodhounds. He
Yeah,
said something that kind of resonated with me. You got people that are vested in the community. Like he
yes,
said, he could call the city manager. Um,
yeah,
you know, from the chief of police to the city manager to the mayor, all the through our North Area superintendent. Um, we're supported, and then that trickles down into the everyday community. Your
wow,
blue collar workers and the people that help run the community, that are living
yeah, for
within
sure.
it. Um, the support has been tremendous.
Mm.
I can't. I didn't expect it to be so good. I they're excited that we're going the way we're going. And the other thing I'm
Yeah,
going to kind of talk about, when we talk about that Titusville as a community,
yeah.
uh, Titusville produces some tough kids.
Man,
I
I
mean, we're
didn't know that, Coach.
dogs
Telly
on
was
top
talking
of
about
dogs.
NFL guys that come out this area. I'm like,
Yeah,
whoa.
yeah. Titusville has, over the last, let's call it, probably starting in about 2013, 14, somewhere in there, maybe 15. So, about the last decade, Titusville
Right.
has put out some of the very best athletes that
Wow.
had gone elsewhere within our
Yeah,
county. Now,
yeah.
you talk,
You know how that
there,
goes. You know how that goes,
oh, I
Coach.
know. Listen, you know where I was at, and I coached my fair share
Yeah,
of
I trust
Titusville
yeah.
kids. Um, The Ville kids hit different, man. I tell them, I always tell them, I'm telling you, there's something in that water. The Titusville kids are built different. And that's just not something I said. I've talked to previous coaches at other schools that may have had a Titusville kid show up. Titusville kids are different. They are tough, tough, tough kids. And that's the community I was raised in and grew up in. That's, I think, where I got a lot of my I don't know, grit or whatever you want to call it. You got to be tough.
The inner city creates the dogs, Coach. I don't care what nobody says, man.
We've got some really tough kids. And as much as I talk about tough kids, we've got, we got great kids. Those same kids that are tough as nails, man, I'm telling you, they'll give you the shirt off their back. They're committed to the people around them. They're committed to the school. I've been around this school a very long time. Morale is at an all-time high. Kids want to be at Titusville. They want to play for the blue and gold. It means something, and I know the modern era of the, let's call it, high school transfer portal. Kids sometimes, they make decisions and whatever it is. But this is a group of kids, starting with these incoming 8th graders all the way through the kids I've got that are in my senior class. They're excited as heck to be a part of Titusville football.
We're gonna for sure give them the spotlight, Coach. But one thing I'm learning about Titusville, Brevard County as a whole is y'all ain't soft out there. You know what I mean? It ain't no softness out there. It's some dogs out there from players to coaches to just people in general. You know what I mean? So it looks like a hard-nosed place out there. So the pups gonna fade away.
At 3-2-1, man, I'm telling you, it's tough out there. Yeah, no, you're right. And you can go up and down the county. I mean, throughout the years, the tough era. Palm Bay had a heck of a run for, and I think they're back on track now with Coach Mays down there, and it won't take him long to be tough. But I mean, there's been I think we're 76-mile long county. Up and down the East Coast. We're 76 miles long, and you can go at different spots up and down the county, and there's dogs all the way through.
Dogs. And even having Telly on, just talking to even the smaller schools that I didn't really know about, the astronauts. You know what I mean? Some of these other schools, they got kids, so they just might not get the coverage as some of these other areas. But guys like Telly doing that, putting the spotlight, has guys like myself and Lakeland like, hold on, there's some kids out there I need to put some articles out on or put some spotlights on. So. For sure, Coach. But as I said, and you said, right, it doesn't just create hard-nosed football players. It creates tough coaches. You know what I mean? And you were under two of the best, right? 2 of my favorite ones. But you spent the last, I think, about 5 years or so helping build the dark side defense at Cocoa. You know what I mean? 3 straight state championships, elite athletes, pressure-filled games. Coach.
Big time.
What did you learn under my brother, Coach Snyder, Coach Franco, and them boys that kind of fuels your vision at Titusville?
No, Coach Snyder he and still does. He does a great job.
For sure.
And I like Coach Snyder's style. Obviously, it was his team.
Talk about it, Coach. There you
go. His style.
People see it from the outside, Coach, but you inside it. You know what I mean? Inside the program. What does it take? You know what I mean? To build something like this.
He does a great job of being a leader of a program. But when he is being a leader of a program, he also did a great job of letting coaches coach.
Talk about it, Coach.
After when I first took the job there back in the COVID season, I wanted to make sure that the guy that hired me and gave me an opportunity to come and work with him. I wanted to make sure, my T's were crossed, my I's are dotted. So I was very involved with, making sure, hey, coach, here's, come watch and film. This is what we're going to do this week to try to combat this or combat that, on the defensive side. Here's how we're going to attack. And I think, it was only a couple weeks. I mean, I came in knowing pretty well. I mean, I think I'm a pretty good coach. But, he had, I just wanted him to have trust in me. So once we, when the season, once we got going and it didn't take very long, maybe a couple weeks, he was like, you feel good? I'm like, yeah, we're good. So, on the defensive side, he did a great job of letting me do what we needed to do on the defensive side. He did what he needed to do on the offensive side. And if he had a concern or a personnel question or whatever, we talk about it and we'll figure out, a resolution. Coach did a really
Yeah.
good job of letting coaches coach.
Man.
We would essentially run at Coco. We essentially ran 2 practices, if you will,
Oh,
within one,
yeah.
offensive
Yeah.
and defensive, and
Gotcha.
we could get a lot more done because, we didn't have almost no two-way players. I mean, I think
Man,
in my
that's a
5 years
luxury, man.
it is. It's
Jesus.
a huge luxury. It's a huge
Yeah.
luxury. And I
Yeah.
think, in my 5 years there, we may have had, I don't know, 3 or 4 kids, no more than
That
5,
played
3,
that
4
played
kids
both sides?
that saw
Wow,
some both
man.
way
Yeah.
action. So,
Yeah.
you're able to get a lot done in practice when you are able to run practice like we did. I'm
Yes,
going through
sir.
all of our stuff, our condition, and then we come together, call it the
Yeah.
last, half hour or so of practice, and we get our 7-on-7 in, we get our team,
Yeah.
some inside run, whatever we got to do. But no, I thought he did a great job of letting coaches coach. But the other thing I think he does a good job, um, and this is where, we're trying to be is,
Yeah.
anytime you're a Coco, or I don't know, you name it, a Lakeland or St. Thomas,
Yeah.
whoever you think's a really good
Yeah, for
team that's
sure.
had a long run,
Yeah.
that target on your back increasingly
It
grows,
grows. Yep. Yes,
increasingly
sir.
goes, and
Yes, sir.
everybody's wanting to take shots, and everybody's got something to say. I think Coach Snyder does a good job of keeping the team together, blocking out the noise. Listen,
Yeah.
nobody's preseason poll, nobody's opinion, nobody's you can hear it here first. I said it's going to happen, so it's going to. None of that's ever won a football game.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
it comes down to preparation, uh,
Yeah.
execution, and staying together. We always talk about that. Stay together.
Culture.
Stay together. That's absolutely right. Play the
Culture's
next
huge.
play. Play the
Yeah.
next play. Keep playing. Keep playing. I've been in several games in my Coco career. One that rings a bell was we're in the Final Four against Jacksonville Bulls. I think we're down
Mm.
28-7 or something like that at half. And we stayed together and we kept
Yeah.
playing, and,
Yeah.
and, and we got some things clicking, and we had a couple breaks that went our way, and we found
Yeah.
our way to get into the state championship.
Yep.
That's the kind of stuff that it takes. Great teams that have good culture.
Yeah.
That's how it goes.
Yeah. And it starts from the top, man. I talking with these
Absolutely.
head coaches, brother, you made a good point. Is head coaches not overstepping their coordinators and letting the guys coach, man. You brought them
That's
on
right.
for a reason. You brought them to the
That's
program
right.
for a reason, coach.
And
So,
and
yeah.
I've had both hats, and I think
Right.
Coach
Yeah.
Snyder does
Yeah.
a good job. Now he
Yeah.
all and with my head coach hat on,
Yeah. There you go.
you as much as you have to trust in your coordinators, you
Yeah.
also have to verify. We got to, Friday night when the
Yeah.
bullets are flying on Friday night, we got to make sure we got answers. And
Yeah.
and he did a great job of that.
Yeah, like you said, coach, everybody kind of look good when you shadow boxing, man. But they start throwing
That's right.
punches, they start landing
That's
bodies
right.
and jabs, man. How you gonna react? So you definitely need
That's
some
right.
dogs with you.
Man, you
But
never
let's
told a lie
yeah,
about that. Yeah.
yeah. Really quick, coach. Let's talk about
Yeah.
building culture at Titusville, man. You take a look at Brevard County, though, as we talk about it. Rockledge, now
Yeah.
Titusville, local legends are stepping up. We'll talk about some guys you brought to the program as well. But I guess what's your mindset, when it comes to rebuilding this program and kind of reigniting pride in the T? They used to play ball out there at Titusville, like
Yeah.
you said, coach.
Yeah. So, the first thing that I wanted to make sure I
Yes,
said to
sir.
these guys when I first met them, I wanted them to know they're on the right track.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long ago. They were winning 1, 2 games, no games, whatever
Ah,
it was.
man.
And over the last 2 seasons, Coach Holmes was there and he did a good job and got kids to stay, got some buy-in, and got them on the right track. Well, you good? Oh, okay. I thought you can you talk to me? I can't hear you.
Yeah, I just muted my mic. I didn't want to
Oh,
interrupt you.
okay.
Oh,
I'm
you
sorry. I
good,
thought you
brother.
were
You
saying
spitting,
something. All
dog. The
good.
diesel got the
All
gas
good.
going, dog.
All good. Yeah,
It'll set me
we
on
stay
fire.
tuned.
I try
Okay.
to
Hey,
Yeah.
but no, so I wanted these kids, this team to know
Yeah.
that they have done what they needed to do to be on
Yeah.
the right track. And that track, was starting to go the right direction. And then some things moved around and changed, and
Right.
the job came open. So I
Yeah.
wanted them to know I felt they're on the right track. the other thing that I wanted them to know is overall it's a pretty young team, and
Okay.
they've done some.
Oh,
It's a pretty young team. They've done a
young
lot of
guy.
good things. Um, but as
That's
far
good
as
though.
culture, yeah, oh,
The young
absolutely.
bucks coach, they can come in and accept the culture that you're about to talk about. You know what I mean? They might
That's
not have
right.
been this school. Now they're learning from 2 other coaches. Now they come with Coach Diesel. They got 3 coaches they've been under. So young
That's right.
pups. Yes,
That's
sir.
right.
Go ahead, coach.
These guys. I wanted them to know that, and we all knew this. Everybody in the county
Yeah,
knows it's in
yeah,
Titusville. It was just
yeah.
Titusville was losing guys. Titusville's
Ah,
got athletes. Titusville's
yeah.
got athletes for
They
days.
just pulling them from
Um,
here to here. You know what
yeah,
I mean? Yeah, I
and that
see.
that was the problem. And
I
I think
see.
we got that pretty much under control now.
Well, y'all done flipped
You
on the
never
head,
know.
coach. Y'all done flipped on his
Yeah.
head. You look on Twitter now, they coming to Titusville.
Yeah, who knows, man? You hear all kinds of junk. We'll see, whatever.
Hey, man, it happens,
But it,
man. Get used to
yeah,
it.
it
It'll be all
does.
right. They'll be all right.
Listen, that's the modern
Yeah.
era of high school football.
Yes, sir.
As
Yes,
much of a
sir.
mess as it is, that's where we're
It
at.
is. It is.
Um, but culture, and it's real simple stuff. It's doing and I know it sounds cliche, but it
Yeah.
really is. It's doing the little things the right way.
Yeah.
It's cleaning up the field. It's
Man,
making
you
sure your
saying the
weight
same
room
thing
is
another coach
spotless.
said. Yeah.
It's
Yep.
all
Yep.
that stuff matters. Cleaning up the weight room and making it spotless,
Man,
like as
the
good as
same
before
thing.
you had it.
Wow.
Finishing out through the drills. And we talk about finish. We finish everything. Everything we do, we're going to finish with a 5-yard sprint. Everything
Yeah.
we do, we finish.
Yeah.
And that internal belief, and I'm going to push them. We're going to work harder than anybody in the state. And if they're still around after we
Yeah.
work as hard as we're going to work, they're certified dogs. Because
Man.
this program, the way we're going to run it, it's not for everybody. It's not.
Yeah.
And
Hey, you sound
if you're
like
going to
coach,
stick,
man. Yeah.
yeah,
There you go, coach.
if you stick around and you get through it, you're a real one, and we want
Man.
real ones.
Two things you said that's resonated with 2 previous coaches I had on. Coach Walker, shout out my Santa Fe Hawks. I asked him, coach, I said, how y'all been building chemistry? He said, off the rip, ain't no bells and whistles, man. Cleaning that locker room, cleaning the weight room.
Yeah,
You guys get in
absolutely.
there and do that, right? Make sure it's spotless. You know what I mean? That's
Well,
gonna
it comes
build some
down to
chemistry
this.
right there.
I'm sure you've heard the quote, but it never
Yeah,
has resonated and rang more true.
yeah.
How you do anything is how you
It's
do
how you do
everything.
everything. There you go,
And
coach. Yes, sir.
if you're gonna half-ass the weight room and let stuff go and
You're gonna
slide, well,
half-ass
guess
on the
what?
field when we're doing drills. Yep,
It's gonna translate.
yep,
And not that that doesn't fly on our watch.
for sure. And another thing you said, coach, that coach, my dog, Coach Thomas was talking about last night. Hey, young men, life is gonna get tough. You know what I mean? But you gotta be around men like this that's gonna push you, that's gonna push your limits and see how far you can go before you explode and crash out. But if you make it through that, you a real one, like Coach said. And then, like I said, in life, I like creating young men that's on and off the field. Tough things are gonna get tough. You're gonna lose your job. You might lose your girl. You might lose whatever. Somebody might pass away. How are you gonna react? How are you gonna respond?
Yes,
You know what I mean?
yes.
You got to be a strong man in the household. You got to be a leader. So that's big
Well,
to me, coach.
I just had that a very similar talk to what you're talking about. We just went to a 7-on-7, and it
Yes,
didn't
sir.
end the greatest way for
Yep.
us. We gave
Yep.
up one late as time's running out,
It happens.
and
It happens.
yeah, and I get it. They're competitive, and people
You
are
learn
not
from
happy.
it, coach. You learn
Yeah,
from it.
and I told I grabbed the guys, said the same thing. I said, guys, that's football. It
Yeah.
happens. Now,
Yeah.
how are you going to respond? And that translates into life. I mean,
In
like you said,
life. Yeah.
somebody comes over and steals your bicycle. Are you going to
For
go?
sure.
How are you going to respond? Are you going to
You gonna
go
be a
and put
knucklehead,
yourself
young
in
man?
jail? Right,
You gonna throw your
right,
life away? Nah, man. Come
right,
on, brother.
right.
Yeah.
No, you're
And like
right. The other thing we want to
anything can
talk
happen.
about while we're kind
Yeah.
of on about life, that's
Go ahead,
another
coach.
part of
Go ahead.
this program that we're really trying to push. As Obviously, the kids that want to play college football,
Yeah,
we're going to do our very best job, and I think we're going to do as good a job as anybody in the county getting kids into
for
school.
sure.
Titusville High School academically is one of the finest schools in Brevard County.
Oh, there you go, coach.
I
There you
believe
go.
we're third overall in graduation rate. They done a lot of good things academically. But kids that are going to come into our program as an as a ninth grader coming from the eighth grade,
For
and
sure.
as they progress and mature, not only do we want them to perform and develop as football players and be student athletes, we want to implement a plan for when we walk across that stage, there is no question mark. When we walk
Wow.
across the stage, we have a destination. That
Wow.
destination may be I'm playing football for 4 more years. It may be
Maybe.
I'm entering a trade school. It may
Man,
be
you know
I'm
what you're
entering
talking
the
about.
military.
You know what you're
It
talking
may
about.
be, I'm going to go to our community college while I work a part-time job.
Yes,
I
sir.
want our kids, and we are going to work on this. And we've done, and I know we've done some good stuff in the past at Coco like that. And when I was at Space Coast, same thing. But we want this to be a young man development that will transition them into adulthood on a proper and good trajectory.
Wow. Wow. And
That's what we're trying to do.
this
And of course, we got
this
to try to win some
resonates with me.
football games.
This resonates with me so well, right? Of course, we got to win in between the lines. But like you said,
That's
Coach,
right.
and I talk about this every show behind the playbook with these with these coaches in general. Not everybody's going to play Power 5 football. Not
Nope,
everybody
ain't gonna
might not
happen.
play college ball, right?
That's
But
right.
what are these programs doing to educate these young men? Hey, some of you going to be welders. Some of you might got to go to a trade school, right? Some of you might
That's
got to
right.
go learn to be an electrician. You know what I mean?
That's right.
What's your plan? Man, I wish
I
I
give
knew that
them
as
a
being a young man. Go
yeah.
ahead, Coach. You got to have a
I give these
plan,
guys
brother.
Yeah, I give these guys real world examples all the time of people that I know in my everyday life that
Right,
are
right.
very successful, have a very nice home, have a nice
Yeah.
family, are living a successful quality life that
Yes,
have
sir.
taken other avenues than the 4-year degree, which no knocking a 4-year degree. I think if that's what you
Right.
want to do,
For
let's go.
sure. For sure.
But
But it's
I
just
have a lot
uh,
of people in my life that are very successful that have found other ways to earn a very good living, and
what
a lot of our kids have followed that path throughout the years.
let me piggyback, Coach, because the game's
Go ahead.
evolving, right? For you young men
Yeah,
that's
big
listening,
time.
you're not just football players now. You're entire brands. You know what I mean? So when it comes
Yes,
to financial literacy, you know what I mean, and creating entrepreneurs, you don't have to put yourself in a box. As I said last night, man, you guys create long-lasting relationships. Utilize football to better your life in the long run. You start building a lawn service company, man. You got 10 to 15 boys you play football with. That's 15 customers you got each month. You
big
know what I
time.
mean? Whatever you're doing, electrician work, plumbing, you can build your brand, you can build yourself up while you're playing football in between the lines. So don't put yourself in a
Absolutely.
box. The world's gonna want to do that to you anyway. You know what I mean? They're gonna,
And
especially as a man, it's gonna be tough.
absolutely. And it's hard to explain, and I can remember being that age and thinking the same thing. It's
Yeah,
hard to explain to a 15, 16,
it is.
17
Yeah,
year old
it is.
kid
It is.
that at some point everybody plays their last down of football.
Football's gonna
And
be over, brother.
it
At
is
some
not a,
point.
it's a young man's game, and
Yeah,
as you go forward, the percentage of young men that are able to continue to play are less and less and less.
smaller and
And you
smaller.
have yes, and it is. I heard a guy talk, give Coach Bellantoni, who at the time was the
Yes, sir.
defensive coordinator down at FAU. I believe he's at Auburn
Yeah,
now. But I listened to him speak, and he was kind of talking about this same kind of thing about getting an education or getting something
man.
that's going to put you in a situation. And he gave an example, and because so many young men, high school football players in
Yeah,
particular, they
yeah.
think, man, if I can get to the league, that's it, I'm done.
That's it,
Coach,
right? Nope.
Coach Bellantoni said, talked about the importance of education. He said, if you don't believe me, I have 2 guys on my staff, and this was at that time. I have 2
Wow.
guys on my staff right now that are former NFL players that played probably 4 or 5 years, I think he said each. And guess what? They needed a job.
Wow.
So
Well, but
the
my thing
importance of
is,
education
that's
can't
the
be
financial
reduced.
literacy, coach, right? Because even as it shrinks,
Absolutely.
and even if you make it to the next level, what did you learn on the way to be able to handle your money? Are you investing the right
Correct.
way? You know what I mean?
Correct.
These are certain things and certain terms coaches can teach these kids outside of football. So, man,
Correct.
that's huge for us, right? We want to
Yeah,
create
big
football
time.
players, but we want to create better men in the community. We're creating fathers,
Absolutely.
you're creating husbands, and you're creating, like I said, some of these coaches are police officers, firefighters. They're actually
Yep.
active in the community outside of
Yep.
football. So it's bigger than sports for me, man.
We
Coming from
talk
where I
about
come
that
from,
all the
dog.
time. Whenever we bring it up, I always, I have some nugget that I'm going to spread. That's one thing we talk about all the time. I said, guys, so many people that get, back in my day or your kids these days. I said, a lot of those people that say kids these days, they don't understand how good kids are these days. When you're walking into the gas station and the nice lady's there, open the door for her and allow her to come through. And then if she says thank you, you say, you're very welcome, ma'am.
There you go.
Use manners, be polite. Yes, sir. No, sir.
Pull your pants up.
Yes. Oh, I always tell them guys,
Man.
nobody wants to see teenage boy boxers. Nobody.
Nah, bro. I come from that, so I know the knucklehead, but come on, dog. You need men in your life telling you, pull your pants up, young man. We're not having that over here in Titusville.
No, we won't play that.
Yeah, we're not having that.
Nope.
But, hey, coach, we're gonna give them a seminar before we get out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm probably slowing you down, man.
Y'all, that's big for us, though. I had these coaches on behind the playbook. These are the men leading these young men. They're not just head coaches. They're part-time mentors. They're part-time taxis. You know what I mean? And sometimes they're part-time fatherhood to these kids. You know what I'm saying? Coaches around these kids more than the parents sometimes. Our community, they work 2 to 3 jobs. So they're around Coach Diesel a lot. They're around Coach Harvey a lot as he sits in the background. So these men are influencing and having an impact on our kids' lives big time, right? Not just football. So let me ask you, Coach, as I say that, right? Because you added a couple big names to your staff in the offseason, brother. TJ Montgomery as your new DC and former NFL running back. Latavius Murray now helping out with the offense, Coach. What do those hires say about the standard you're trying to set at Titusville?
So obviously we want, first thing, let me say before we get into the new hires,
Yes,
I inherited, I want this to be out there.
Yeah,
The staff that I inherited, I was, I knew some of them I did not know because I haven't been to Titusville in 7 years or so, 8 years. So some of these guys I did not personally know, but what I knew about them is all of them had been there through the down times, through the up times. They're committed. They care about kids, and they do whatever they can do to put Titusville High School football. And
they're real terriers, dog.
They are real terriers. So I have been blessed to inherit. My little French bulldog here is getting a little crazy.
Are you good? Dogs in the building.
I got dogs now. I got a pit bull. I got a couple Frenchies. We don't mess around.
There you go. There you go.
Yeah, my pit bull. She's great.
Oh, you got a pet too? All right.
I got a pit, of course. Red nose.
Yeah.
You gotta have a pit, man. You're in that.
Got to red nose, dog.
Gotta have a pit. Yeah. All real households should have a pit bull.
Yeah, those terriers, dog.
But no, back to the coaches. I inherited a great group of guys who are 1,000% committed to what we're trying to do. I've inherited some guys that have made my job much easier because I'm telling you, when you become the head coach, and it was so nice for the last 5 years, not being the head coach as far as having to do the head coach duties. I have guys around me that I have helped that have willingly taken stuff off of my plate and get some stuff done.
You need that, though.
It's not.
You need that, coach.
I do.
You need that.
And I have been very fortunate to have these guys that were there that wanted to stay on when I showed up. And I want them to know first and foremost that, man, we are blessed that they have been at Titusville, and we're blessed that they want to continue to be at Titusville. They're great, great group of men.
Good stuff.
Yep. Rolling into a couple of the new hires. TJ Montgomery was when I was at Cocoa. He was my defensive backs coach my first 2 years at Cocoa.
I got a relationship already. All right.
Yeah. So TJ was our defensive back coach at Cocoa. And what I can tell you about TJ is he is fully committed to developing young men into men. The kids respond to him well.
I see that
about kids.
I see.
He goes above and beyond for these kids, and they
he's a relatable coach, man. Players coach.
You know how it is. That's right. You know the saying, real recognizes real. He's a real one. Sure. And the kids see that. And to have people like that around the program, real guys,
it's big time.
That's big time. And as far as bring it in, I felt when things are kind of shaking and what have you, when I felt like we had an opportunity to get him, I feel
Yeah.
like he's earned his spot to have an opportunity to coordinate a defense. He's been doing
Mm.
this a long time. He's been under and around some good coaches.
Yes, sir.
I think he's going to do great. The defense that we're going to run is what I've been doing for the last several
Yeah.
years, and we tweak and twist it to fit our personnel, and we're attack, and we got a lot
That's
of
what
stuff
I
that
say.
we
And
do.
look, give us a little sauce, coach. What y'all flying around out there with you
Yeah,
blitz
oh
heavy?
yeah. So yeah,
Yeah.
listen, I have always said, uh, give me the opportunity to have a
Uh-oh.
16-year-old kid. You
Yeah.
got me? Okay,
Yeah, I
yeah.
got you.
Give me
Yeah.
the opportunity to have a 16-year-old quarterback stand there for 4 seconds with no pass threat on like
Oh,
7 on
you
7. He's gonna complete
77.
everything. Now you
Yeah.
shift gears, that same
Yeah.
16-year-old kid, and all of a
Got
sudden
a
you got a
DN on
double
him.
inside break. Yeah, you got a double inside break. You're looping a backer, and then you're rolling coverage on the back. And boy, that pressure's coming hot. Now that
Yeah.
now it's bad
It's a
decision
lot
time.
different.
It's a lot different.
Yeah.
So yeah, we are. I'll give you a little bit about what we do defensively,
Yeah. Just a
and
little bit, coach, for the people that's watching,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would consider us we're a base multiple 40 up front. We move
Okay.
around, we stunt, we show different
Okay.
alignments and looks.
There you go.
We may not be where we start after the snap, so we create some problems and some mismatches up front.
Yeah.
We always have backers that can run around and fly around and blitz and cause problems off the edge up the middle.
Ooh.
And on the back end, by the nature of what we do,
Yeah.
our base stuff, we're a split field backfield.
Right.
Split two high safeties, depending on what we get, and then we can roll and adjust and make our calls to put us in the best situation. And we'll attack,
Coach, real
we'll
quick
attack
though.
off the edge. Go ahead.
Let me ask you though, because the person, it ain't no shout out, but the personnel is a little different. When you got guys like CJ Hester, you got guys like O'Keefe's battle in the back. Are you
Yeah.
bringing that same type of scheme that you had? Or are you like you said, it might change up a little bit? You know what I mean? So
I
yeah.
think we're going to be about like we did. Hey, CJ Hester's a Titusville kid. He drank Titusville water. I got a bunch of them
Look.
same. Yeah.
There you go, coach.
Yeah.
He a dog though. I like CJ.
He's a
I
dog.
like that kid.
I coached CJ the last 4 years at Cocoa.
Yeah. Okay.
Excellent kid.
We've seen
Excellent
the
student.
progression, man. He's turned into a real P5 dog, man, for sure.
He is an excellent player, and he's
Yeah.
an awesome kid. I
Yes,
love
sir.
that kid.
For
Just
sure.
great people, great family. The Hesters roll deep in Titusville. A
Oh,
lot of Hesters.
they got the Hester family out there,
Yeah,
huh?
there's a
Okay,
lot of
okay.
yeah, there's a lot of Hesters
All right, all
in
right.
Titusville, and he's part of the family.
For sure.
But no, yeah, we're athletic, we're long,
Yeah. Yeah, y'all got some
we can
kids
fly around.
that we're gonna talk
Yeah,
about that I can kind of match that a
yeah,
little bit. Brothers, kids, and
our
stuff
our
like that. We'll break
yeah,
it down a little bit here in a second, but I
yeah,
just wanted to know a
yeah.
little bit about what that
No,
scheme gonna look like.
scheme wise, we should be, yeah, and we haven't seen live. I can't say definitively because I haven't seen us go full live yet. But
No,
I
for
got to tell
sure.
you, we got a lot of similar pieces
Let's go. Let's
defensively.
go.
Yeah, we got a lot
Let's
of. I
go.
mean, we got to. Yeah, I agree. So we'll
Let's
find out.
let me ask you though, because you've been there for some months now, coach. Let's talk about that spring and summer grind. It builds chemistry, especially in the state of Florida. That
Yep.
spring period having those 20 practices, right? You look around in the country, a lot of even up in the mid states and up north, they don't even have spring ball. You know what I mean?
No,
So you guys got some valuable time with your kids. But
it's
let's talk
very
about you and this
valuable.
coaching staff, man. What were you guys able to accomplish this offseason, building trust, energy, and identity heading to this fall? What's the offseason been like for you guys, coach?
So the off season for us, first and foremost, we have grinded.
Grind.
Every
Yeah.
grinded. I mean,
Yeah.
like we like we're getting it out the mud. I mean,
Get
there's
out the
no
mud. There you go,
handouts.
coach. Keep it
Yeah,
real.
there's no handouts. Everything's earned. Um,
Yeah.
we have been pushing these young men, through failure, and
Yeah.
I, you know, they keep responding. They keep showing up. They
Yeah.
want more of it. So no, we have been, and we've had an excellent off season as far as the
Yeah.
weight room. Kids'
Yeah.
bodies changed and transformed. Mental toughness. Through all the field drills and stuff
Yeah.
that we get.
Man,
We compete. We get after it. Everything we do is a
I see.
competition.
I see.
And and that's I think that's going to pay off dividends. That's the plan, at least. We'll see.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. It
Yeah.
got me here. You feel me? It got me interested.
Yep.
I'm trying to get out to a game, trying to get out to a practice. As I
Yeah,
see you
come see
guys
us.
put it up on social media, man. You feel me? So,
Yep.
all right, coach. Let me ask this one, man. We talk about where you've been at previously and the wealth of
Yep.
knowledge you have, right? And bringing that to the Terriers, bringing that to Titusville High School. You've been around some top tier talent as we talk about the Hesters and whatnot at Cocoa, but college coaches should know your name by now, right? But let me ask you, how would you, definitely them stopping by, you know what I mean, the high school
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I guess, how would you plan on, utilizing that reach, utilizing your network you have, and kind of helping some of these Titusville athletes get some opportunities? You know what I mean? As we say, not everybody's big time Power 5 or whatever, but utilizing that outreach, not only the outreach, coach, but the education about what it means to get recruited. You know what I mean? How do you plan on, you and your staff kind of highlighting and developing these kids and educating them, and even the parents?
So that's exactly right. So
Yeah,
we're gonna have a parent meeting coming up before the season, just to kind of
yeah,
reiterate when we had
that's
our
big.
parent meeting.
That's
Because we
big
got some new faces, some kids showed up,
for
so we
sure.
want to get everybody on the, get everybody reading the same sheet
Same
of music.
page. Yeah,
That's right.
yeah,
And we're going to walk them through that. We're real fortunate that our administration is very in tune with
yeah,
the clearinghouse, and what it takes to navigate the requirements to
yeah,
qualify. And
yeah.
so that's first and foremost. You can be an unbelievable football player, you can be the best there ever was, but if you
You-
don't qualify, you don't
classroom,
qualify.
classroom.
That's right. That's
Yes,
right.
sir.
And let's face it, if you can't be a high school student, you sure as hell ain't going to be a
Man, if
college
you can't
student.
go sign your name on a paper, man, I just want
Come on.
leaders in the classroom, man, because it
Yep.
translates outside of on the field and in the community. So be a leader everywhere you at. Go ahead,
That's
coach. My
right.
bad, brother.
That's right. No, you're good.
Yeah,
So getting everybody on the same page, and it's kind of a trickle down effect as far as starts in the classroom. The administration lays
does
out the blueprint.
does.
We've been very fortunate there. If you do what you're supposed to do, we are not proud of anything below a 3.0.
Ooh,
Now, yeah, we're not proud of that. That doesn't mean we're completely angry and
yeah,
ridiculous,
yeah. Not
but we
accepting of it,
start.
but man, we're
That's
gonna get
right.
on you
But
if you coming with that
but
two
that's
nine
right.
or 2.5 or hold on. What can we do? Again, a couple more
That's right.
assignments, get you up to the 3.
3 is the magic number, and all
Yeah,
you can talk to any guy recruiting. The minute you say you got a 3.0, all of a sudden the
it
college is
opens up
like, oh, okay,
opportunities. It's gonna close, man.
absolutely,
You kids, you parents are the one. I don't know how many high schools are doing that for seminars for the parents about what it means to get recruited, about having GPAs, about opening doors and close doors that are closed for you throughout this process.
that's
Kids,
right, that's
we
right,
say this last night. It's control the controllables. And that's
that's
one
right.
thing you can do is control what you control. That's go be a leader in the classroom. Go be a teacher. It's not cool to be a knucklehead. It's cool to
No,
sit at the front of the
no,
classroom. It's cool to
yep,
raise, hey, I got it. Man, be that. Let's start that trend
yeah,
going on in our
yeah.
community. So, man, I'm
That's
a turn up
exactly.
myself. Go ahead,
Yeah,
brother.
that's exactly what we're trying, and
Yeah,
that's where it starts. Because I'm telling you,
yeah,
you can have the greatest film, but if you don't have that portion,
yeah,
so is life. And hopefully, a
for
JUCO
sure.
will take you.
For
And
sure.
even that's
Yeah.
harder and harder now.
That's
Yeah,
how
I
it
mean,
get. That's how it get.
back in the day, here we go showing our age. But yeah, I'm gonna have to go to a JUCO. Oh
Yeah.
yeah, good luck.
Yeah.
Try to get into a JUCO. I mean, JUCO.
It's getting
There's
harder though.
dogs
It's
on
getting
top of
harder.
dogs in JUCO. That's right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
especially now that you get the 2 free years of JUCO, and it's not affecting
Man.
your
It's
4-year
high school
eligibility.
recruiting is getting tough. The window is closing. But talk about the parents too. A lot of the parents don't understand what it means to get recruited. You know what I mean? So I see that a
Yeah.
lot. I talk to a lot of
And
them. So
recruiting is such a fluid
yeah,
process
yeah,
right now, and
yep.
even the college guys don't quite understand it all the way at times. Something,
Right. Well, it's
th-
evolving.
particularly on their end with the transfer portal.
Yeah,
When it's
yep,
open, and it's
yeah.
it's it's kind of the wild
And they
wild
cut
west.
scholarships
Uh,
too. They cut
yeah,
scholarships at the college level. So they're
that's
making
the
it,
other
it's getting
thing.
harder and harder, especially for you high school kids. So
It
do what
is
you can
very.
to open the
That's
door
right.
for yourself. And that's controlling your grades, not getting in trouble. You know what I mean? So
That's right.
that's number one. So
No,
all
so
right.
as far as pushing kids, I think we are gonna do as good a job as anybody.
for
Our
sure.
kids' film will get in front of eyes that they need to be in
Yeah,
front of, and
yeah,
also you got to be a realist. You see so many of these Twitter, internet coaches.
man,
We'll
yeah.
get you this, get you that, and all of a sudden you got an offer from Alabama, and you're in ninth grade, and I'm like, oh come on, man, what are we doing? I mean, why are we lying to kids?
Then you look up a year later, or you getting texts from these coaches, and 3-4 months later, they not responding to your phone call. You know what I mean?
Man,
And I'm
it's
coming from Polk
unbelievable.
County. I'm from
Yeah, you
Polk,
see
brother.
it.
I see it
Yeah,
every year. These kids
you see it.
they get an offer from Indiana or somewhere, and they
Yep.
keep waiting. They keep waiting. And 2 months later, they're not on the board no more. Now you gotta reevaluate where you're going. Now you might be an
You
Old
know,
Dominion kid. You know what I mean?
if
So it
and
happens.
we're one of the schools, and I don't know, maybe it's not the cool thing, but if one of
Yeah.
our kids posts something, it's a committable offer.
Man,
That's our goal.
that's the education
It's
piece, coach.
committable.
What does
It's
it mean to
committable.
have a committable offer? What's a verbal offer? What's a hey, we offer you?
Yeah.
Can I commit right now, coach?
Yeah.
We want to come to a couple of your games. We want to see you come on campus, and then we'll talk
Yeah.
about it, man.
You see
So it
so
gets
many of these
tricky.
guys.
It gets tricky.
Yeah, we'll offer you. We like your coach, and he's
Yeah,
bugged us enough.
relationship offer. That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know.
So,
If we get one, it's committable.
nah,
That's the plan.
yeah, I'm sure Coach Harvey's in the bag. I'm sure he dealing with that too with them CCC
Oh,
boys.
yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
he's
That's a
shaking
great
his
they
head.
do a good job over there, yeah.
Yeah, it gets tricky with these offers. You know what I mean? So,
I
all
know.
right, Coach. Yeah,
So much mess.
we talked about you coming in, taking over the reins. You know what I mean? We talked about your coaching staff a little bit. We talked about the offseason, but hey, let's talk about some of these prospects you got, man. And one, hey, I don't care what nobody says. The internet's the internet, and social media is social media. I got to start off with this. You just got a new key addition under center, quarterback, 2026, William Billingsley. You know what I mean? Coming over from
Yeah.
East River, but he's a big
Yep.
frame kid, big strong arm. But what do you feel like he brings to this offense? And I guess how do you feel you kind of build around him to unlock his offensive game?
So that's exactly what I did. When he first
Yeah,
got over here, I took him and some of the new guys went, and I took him. I've
yeah,
done this many times at Coco with a transfer.
yeah,
Kids that I just didn't quite know yet. Man, let's get.
yeah.
I think one way to get to know somebody is go sit down and eat with them and chop it up.
Oh, you
And
took him out, go ahead and get some food real quick.
yeah, I took him out. We went out to
Nothing wrong
one of
with
the
that.
local restaurants there in Titusville.
Yeah, yeah,
After they got they were in and they said, "Hey, you guys are good." They got their little workout, and I took them out because I want got to get to know these guys.
yeah.
And I'll tell you what strikes me first about his Billingsley William or Bill. He goes by both Billy Will.
Yeah. That's what
So yeah,
Telly said. He
yeah,
said,
so
"Bill."
yeah, yeah. So we'll call. So when the first thing that I will say that struck me was his level of maturity. He
Okay, so
is
he's mature. Okay, okay,
he's very mature. He's one of these young guys that he's had the same girlfriend for over a year.
okay. He's locked
He's
in.
a real lockdown,
Cerebral
locked
kid, you know
in,
what I mean? Smart.
very
Okay,
very yeah, big IQ. And
okay.
that's what I think it would be. Uh, Now, don't get me wrong, we're gonna do we're gonna do, but I
For
also
sure.
wanted to talk to him and, what do you, what are some of your strengths? What do you feel like you do good in your game?
Oh,
What part of your
got you.
game do you
There you
think
go.
needs improvement?
There you
Um,
go.
I said, give me your 2 favorite, inside the 10 plays. Give me your 2 favorite inside the 20 plays.
You testing him a little bit. Yeah,
You're out in the free wheel zone, the green zone.
there you go.
We're trying to move the chains.
Put him on the whiteboard, coach.
Yeah, give me some of your drive starters, this kind
Yeah,
of thing. So I wanted
yeah.
to see where he was at, and he's very cerebral.
That's good.
He is extremely mature, and physically, he is a big kid. I think they
He
list him
is. I
six
see that. He's
three,
about
about
6'3",
two.
200 plus. Yeah, he's 6'3",
Yeah,
200 plus.
he's a big kid. He's durable.
The zone read,
He's got
coach. Have him run a couple people over if you need to. I know you've been having Brady
well,
Hart out there. You know what I mean? It's been
yeah,
a
well,
luxury out there.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, Brady's as
Yeah,
good as
Boda and
there
them
ever
boys. You
was.
know what I
Yeah,
mean?
absolutely. We had a
Yeah,
little train going there.
yeah,
But
yeah.
no, this kid is. I think he is an excellent quarterback based on the film that I saw.
Yeah. Yeah.
He needed a couple more tools around him
For sure.
to really let him showcase what his ability. But no, he can make all the throws. We can be on the right hash, and he can hit the outside. He can hit the numbers on the left side.
Route tree.
It,
Throw that
right.
route tree, huh? Well, he checked
He's
out. Hey, just you talking. He checked a lot of boxes before he even got on the field. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Legit
yeah,
boxes that quarterbacks
yeah,
have to check off. So
yeah.
him having the strong arm, the big frame, and stuff just adds on to it for me.
Yep, yep. And he has a lot of tools that we're going to figure out ways to maximize his game.
Well,
We
he's an
have,
experienced kid too, Coach. You're not just a
he
young
is.
pup. He's a senior
No,
coming in. So all you
no,
gotta do is get that playbook down, learn the playbook,
that's
and get
right.
your chemistry and timing down with your receivers and your offensive linemen.
I'm excited to watch him play. And I told him that. I said, I'm excited for you. I'm excited
Yeah.
for him to have the season that he should have. I feel like he's going to be a big impact player. I think he's going to be one of the better kids in the county. I think he brings a tremendous amount of overall confidence to
Leadership too.
leadership.
Especially when
Yeah,
he's coming over and taking over the new program, man. It's kind of a luxury too to
yeah,
have a big senior. He's got some playing time around him, got some numbers, so it ain't like he got some
yes,
confidence. You know what I mean?
he
That's
does.
big
He
time.
does.
Quarterbacks walk
And
around with a little bit different swag. You know what I mean? They
and
walk around the
that's
locker room a little different. You know what I mean? I'm the guy.
yeah.
So you
Yeah,
need
and
that. I
I
need
think
that.
that's he's one of these guys that and like I said, he just got here and I'm just getting to know him. But he's one of
Yeah.
those guys that is mature. He walks around, you can
Yeah.
tell confident, but not
Yeah.
cocky at all. He is
Yeah.
the kids,
They rally
he
around
is
him. I'm telling you, you need that
he's
for a
blended
quarterback. I
in.
don't care
He's
what
done a good
nobody say,
job.
man.
He's done a good job. And
Sunshine.
then
Y'all watched remember the Titans, man. You need a sunshine walking around.
yeah, yeah, and we've been really fortunate, so we got him, and then obviously the guy that we've had that played quarterback last year is I'm
Yeah.
going to go ahead and go on record. He's going to I'll say
Yeah.
he's arguably the best athlete in the county. Tank
Ooh,
Harvey.
Tank
Um,
Harvey, man.
Tank
Telly talks
Harvey
about this
does
kid all the time, man. He's big on this
Tank
kid. Yeah.
Tank can throw. Tank can pass and throw. His arm is incredible.
Yeah.
He when he's running read option or Q power
Yeah.
lead, all
RPO.
kind.
Yeah. Yeah.
He is freaky with his
Zone
feet.
read.
Um, he does so much stuff as in the quarterback, but now bringing Billy on,
Really?
now we can do so much other things with him. Also, he still has his quarterback ability,
Yeah.
but now we can
Yeah.
line him up in the slot. We can wide him out, put him in the backfield. He can play safety. He's literally a kid that there's
Creative player, coach.
you got to really think about what stuff
Yeah.
you can do with him because
Yeah.
he has the ability to hurt you from so many different ways.
For
Yeah,
real.
he's a problem.
You're gonna have to
Yep.
keep that one day he called tank, but you're gonna have to keep that gas tank full, fill them up with some diesel, you know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
you're gonna
Oh
be all
yeah. Oh
over the
yeah.
field.
No,
we
Tank's a dog. Tank's
don't
my
need you
guy. I
patting
love
that
him.
head, Tank. We're gonna need you out
No,
there, you know what I mean?
I already told him I pick him. I give him a ride sometimes. He needs a ride
Yeah.
sometimes. His mom's working or whatever. I always
That's what
tell.
we talk
I said,
about.
Tank. I said, we don't do
No,
this. We
want
don't
none
do
of that.
this.
None of
You
that.
follow what we're gonna do. T-ville Tough Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Winter Wednesday.
Yeah.
Championship Thursday.
Yeah.
You're gonna be in shape. I don't want to see this at all.
Man, it fit perfect name. His name's Tank. We're gonna fill you up with the diesel, dog. You ain't tired. You
Yeah.
staying out there.
No,
I couldn't be no coach, man. They would have kicked me off. Because if I got a guy like that, coach, I'm getting him. He getting the end of rounds. He playing DB. We're gonna put him on zone read. We're gonna put him here.
You just stay tuned. Tank is gonna attack from multiple ways. He's a problem.
Yeah. Well,
Hey,
Coach
I'll
Harvey,
tell you, we played him
down.
last year. Yeah, we played him last when I was at Cocoa. We played Titusville week 1.
Everywhere.
And we did everything on the field but tackle him. He extended plays, got our defensive backs looking in the backfield, bad eyes, beating you over.
Yeah.
He's special. Yeah.
Well, I'm glad. I'm sure he had a lot of people pulling his collar, right? And I'm glad you have him stay home being a Titusville kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
No,
hard in this day and age, but
he's deep Titusville. Hell, his brother is. I think he's the end of call them the Harvey brothers, and he's the baby of them all. And one of his brothers is my he coaches with us.
Okay.
Coach Maurice Harvey, who played at Nevada. He's in their Hall of Fame. He's a Titusville guy. Coach Harvey, his older brother is a dog. I mean, I don't know. he's got to be early 30s now, and I mean he can still get out there and
Man,
run the go ball and back. Yeah, they're freaky.
That's crazy. This show right
Yeah,
here is home, but I guess it's a hometown heroes show because Coach Diesel, that Titus, something different about that Titusville. It gives me Polk County vibes, and Coach Harvey in the background. They got them Newtons out there. It's something. It's like you gotta be CCC boy. This is a hometown hero show, man. If y'all watching,
there
man,
it is.
hit that like button, dog. I like this right here.
Yeah, them T-ville boys stay tough, man.
It's in the blood for this show line, but it's deeper than rap. I might call it deeper than rap. But all right, coach. We talk about Billingsley, but you a defensive minded coach, being out there in Cocoa for the last couple of years, for 5 years, 3 state championships. So you know what it looked like, right? Defensive minded guy, but. What y'all looking like at Titusville, man? We talk about his offense and whatnot. What's the defense looking like? Who are some guys I guess you kind of look out for? Go ahead, coach.
Yeah, let me finish up on the offense. We got I argue probably our most recruited player right now, our left tackle, Jeremy Priest.
I was gonna come back to that.
Okay,
I was gonna come back to that, but go ahead, coach.
Yeah, Jeremy is
the Priest kid. He said he's one of the better kids in the county.
Jeremy is.
You want to jump the gun. You want to say top.
He is teams that I've coached and been around, and I've been around some good ones.
Coco got some huge linemen, brother. I know
he's as good of a lineman as I've ever seen.
There you go.
He takes pride in finishing blocks. He is quick. He's long armed. He's heavy handed. He's 6'4", 315 pounds, and he's not fat.
He's solid. It's solid.
He is solid. There ain't no jiggle. No jiggle on him. He's a tough kid. And we're really excited about him getting, solidifying that front five.
Man,
that was a young team.
Boys out here, coach, strong, big, stocky country boys.
Yeah, you do. I know all about it.
On my offensive line, I'm a nose. So Coach Harvey, a Miami fan, but it's all good. I like them big, country, stocky boys got dip in the mouth. You know what I mean? I want them knocking for me. So
I know the type.
Yeah. Shouts out to that kid, Jeremy Priest, though.
Jeremy Priest is. He's definitely one of the better kids in the county. And he's just, and here we go again. But he works his tail off every day. He's not the real loud rah guy. Typical lineman. He's really witty and smart.
Physical, tough, gritty.
Physical, tough. Yeah. And between the whistles, he's a nightmare. And we found
motor. Got a high motor on him, coach?
Yeah, but high motor. We're gonna plug him in sometimes situationally on defense because he goes. We'll plug him in here and there, when we need him. But no, he's gonna be great.
What about this kid right here, coach? Telly told me to ask about this kid. Is Zymerius Brown? He's a safety.
Zymerius Brown. Zymerius Brown is a safety. He is he's 6'3", probably 195. Super long arms. Big hands. Flies to the football. Puts his face and wants to bite the ball. Does a good job in coverage. I think he had some things going on last year. Maybe I don't know. Anyway, I think I wasn't on the team. Anyway, long story short,
man. That's real.
He's going to ball this year, and he has got every tool you can ask for. I know South Florida came in, and Coach Rowe from South Florida, who's a Brevard County guy. When he saw him, he's like, "Holy cow!" I said, "Yeah."
Well, I see his frame. I see his footwork. I see his technique. I'm like, okay, might got somebody on there.
He's going to have a big year, and he's kind of one of them unsung heroes at the moment. And then you talk about Titusville. His uncle, talk about family roots.
That's another one right
uncle,
there.
Yep. So his uncle Willie was. Remember, I told you, me and Coach Onion were in the same first grade class.
First grade.
Uncle Willie was in our class at Apollo Elementary.
First grade.
Uncle Willie. Well, Uncle, known the whole bloodline all the way through Apollo Elementary, all the way through all the brothers.
You got an OG. You call it when you got Uncle Willie, dog. That sounds like an OG.
Uncle Willie. They call him Breezy. They call him Breezy. But Uncle Willie is old Titusville like me. And,
Man, you sound
you
like
know
an OG, man.
Yep, he is, and, no,
Uh-huh.
Zymarius Brown's gonna have a big year.
Yeah.
We also look forward to DJ Jenkins, kind of
Yeah.
at linebacker, nickel, high. There's
DJ.
a lot
You
of
told me
stuff
to
we
ask
can
about
do with him.
DJ. Yeah. He's at yep.
He's one of them kids that wants to put his face mask through your chest. He
Okay.
never backs down. Physical as the day is long.
Mm.
And then up front, we got a kid, Bill
Bill.
Jefferson. Bill
Bill. Oh,
is,
I heard that name. I heard that name. I heard that name,
yeah,
coach.
he's had a
Another one.
great camp circuit. He's had a great off season.
Yeah.
He's super high motor.
Yes,
Then we
sir.
got another kid up front that's Jamarian Bookhart, and
Okay.
he's
Bookhart. Yeah,
six
he said
three, probably
Bookhart
two
too.
twenty
There you
five.
go, coach.
Yeah,
You hitting
six
it right
three,
on the
two
head.
twenty five. D end. He's an athlete. He plays basketball. He's
Woo.
twitchy. We got some kids that are gonna be
I
problems.
see. I see. I see. I'm gonna keep it under wraps. I don't want to give too much out there. I know
Yeah,
Brevard County is tapped in right now. The Space
yeah.
Coast family. All right, man. Let me see. Let me ask. We ask. I want to say, what's the motto? When you got a school coach, everybody's got a motto. Everybody's got an identity. You know what I mean? Coach last show was control the dash. What's that? Guess what's y'all's thing, coach? What's y'all's motto this year? Guess what's your locker room thing, coach, that you tell the kids?
So kind of a couple things. First thing we pride ourselves on is being tough. The
Okay.
Titusville kids are tough. We are T-ville tough. We
I was about to
are
say, there you go.
T-ville tough.
T-Bill tough.
Our let me tell you, our kids are the when the bullets are flying
Yeah. I
your
like
back's
that how you
against the
said that
wall.
too. Yeah, yeah. The
We,
bullets flying, dog.
yeah,
They get real.
we got guys that our kids ain't jumping in the foxhole and hiding.
Yeah.
We're going
There you
we're
go.
going where there's danger. Where
Yeah.
there's smoke,
Yeah.
we're showing up.
There you go.
Um, yeah, where there's smoke, we're showing up. But
Yeah.
the other thing that we preach and push, the word I, Coco does, Schneider. But I've always said my dad did this way. Not that it's nothing newer, but it's so true. We,
Yeah.
not me. A
We,
bunch
not
of
me.
individuals, a
Yes,
bunch
sir.
of individuals. That's how you lose on a Friday night when you start the
Yes,
finger
sir.
pointing and you know man, you didn't do that, or I didn't do this, or we didn't. No, no, we, we,
We.
we all got
Yes,
one
sir.
of 11, and we
And
all
no
got to
I
do our
team.
job.
That's it. No
No,
I team, as
no,
they always say, man.
yeah, yeah, and you know what? Individualism creates complaint. Creates all kinds of problems,
It
and
creates
then you
cancers
start.
in the locker room, man.
Oh yeah, well,
That's
and I say that all the time,
yeah.
guys. What do you do with
Don't
cancer? Yeah, we won't have
don't be a
cancer.
cancer.
What do you do with
Yeah,
it?
don't be a
You
cancer.
cut,
Yeah.
you cut it out.
Yeah. Oh, there
Cancer
you
and
go. Yeah, we'll
anchors.
cut the arm off. You
Yeah,
feel me?
that's right.
Yeah.
We don't do,
Yeah.
if you're going to be an anchor dragging the bottom while this boat's in motion, we're going to let the damn anchor go because the boat's going without you.
We're gonna break the chains. You
Yeah,
feel me? If we have
yeah,
to.
yep.
So really quick, I got Coach Harvey waiting on me, Coach. So we're gonna wind down a little
Okay,
bit here. I got two more for you before we
sure.
have some fun. I'll have some fun at the end. But all right, Coach, you've been
All
around the
right.
game a long time, man. But
Yep,
football is just a part of it, right? Of course, you want to
yep.
win. It starts with winning. The parents, the people that's tapped in, whatever. But what does a successful season look like to you beyond the wins, beyond the win column and whatnot? What does the successful season look like to you when we're talking about just growth on and off the field, brother?
Okay, so growth. We'll kind of remember we talked about the academic program
Man, that's
success.
big time.
We just talked about Jeremy Priest. Jeremy Priest is set to graduate. He's got one semester, and he's going to
Man,
graduate, and we're going to send him off to college.
that's
So that's
success.
kind of and fortunately for us at Titusville, we're on block scheduling. It's the best thing
Uh,
ever. You are able to get ahead credit wise. It
yeah,
sets up nicely for those early graduations.
yeah.
So, so part of the successful pie graph, if you will, is doing what we need to
Academics.
do academically to
Yeah,
where we want to go. Jeremy
yeah.
Priest is going to have the ability to sign a scholarship and go play
Man,
football. And because of what he's been able to do academically with the career, with the academic track that he took, he's going to
yeah,
be able to enroll early at a university and be that much more ahead.
yeah.
Excuse me. So that's part of the success. The other part of the success is um, as a whole is watching our kids. As much as we talk football, and football's the
Yeah.
big draw. Obviously, I'm the football coach.
Yeah.
Watching our kids participate and roll into that next sport. You know, we try.
Mm.
Our kids don't go
You
home
want 'em to play
and
multi-sport? You like
we
that?
want athletes.
Okay.
Give me a
There you
kid.
go.
Give me a kid that can dribble a basketball and
Yeah.
shoot, or hit a baseball, or that
Yeah.
kind of thing, or wrestling, especially
Wrestling,
wrestling.
big time. Yeah.
Wrestling, wrestling is the toughest sport. I'm a
Wrestling
football
and
coach, and I'm a proud
weightlifting.
football
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah.
Wrestling is the best and most toughest sport on
I
any high school
Coach
campus.
Thomas Coach Thomas would love to hear you saying that. Him being a
Yeah,
long time wrestling coach, man.
I'm telling you, man, those wrestlers are cut from a different cloth. If you can get
They
through,
are,
you know,
man.
you, you
They
you
are.
get out of football and you think you're in shape until you get to wrestling
Well,
practice.
their workouts are
Uh,
crazy. Going back to
it's
my high school
insane.
days, man, they used to have them
Yeah.
guys running those miles with the people on their back. You know what I mean? It's
Yep.
like
Yep.
army workouts.
Yep.
So
So
yeah,
and any good football program, I believe, also has a successful track program. And
man,
Titusville High School's track program has been doing really well, and we do a good job of making or not making, because they want to,
they need
sending
to.
our kids right
They
into
need to.
track when football's
Yes,
over,
sir.
and continue to develop and participate in the wonderful sport that
Man,
track and field is.
that's
And
a good answer.
so I enjoy watching that kind of thing. I go to the events,
Yeah,
I support them. And our track coaches do a great job. Um, so that's part of success is the continuation of
yeah.
rolling into the next thing. And that
Yes,
also
sir.
means if you're rolling into the next thing, idle hands is when the devil gets active. Ain't that what they say?
Right.
So if we stay busy and working on being good at something, whatever that may be, well, we're probably doing good in the classroom.
Yeah,
We're doing
yeah.
good because we're involved in a sport. So that's
And it
part of the
mitigates injuries.
continuation.
You know what I mean? Your body's active. You
Absolutely.
gotta stay active. You know what I mean? You got to
And
be a
that's
ball
that's
player.
that's one thing that and I'm going to digress a little bit here. That's one thing that we've done a good job at Titusville. I know the track coaches do it, but we get the kids in the ice bath.
Yeah.
We get them
Strength and
treatment.
conditioning. Okay,
The
there you
strength.
go,
Yep.
coach.
We
Yeah.
we are always putting their body and their mind first. And
Yeah, man.
I believe if your body's feeling good and your mind's clear, good results can happen. And
Coach, recovery is a big part of the game, man.
big
I
time,
don't know if it's talked about a lot, but recovery is most of it. You know what I mean? You got
big
to
time,
recover right. So recovering
big time.
wellness is huge,
Nutrition, sleep, all that,
man.
hydration, absolutely.
Dude, big time. But
Um, But when you talk about on the field, success, we obviously we want to win a district championship.
yeah, man. Yeah,
We want to make a deep playoff run.
yeah,
I don't if we can win the district and keep it rolling. Call me crazy, but we want to compete for a championship.
yeah.
That's what we want to do. We
Now, you
want to
ain't
compete
crazy,
for a
man.
championship.
Sometimes you got
I
to
don't
be
think so.
delusional in life. You got to be
I, you
delusional.
know,
You know what I mean?
I think so.
I'd rather you be
So,
delusional. I'd rather you be
yeah.
called crazy than short self yourself. Oh, we might
Well,
win 5 games. Man, hell
I
no, man. We trying to
always
win the district. I like that.
Yeah, yeah, and I think sometimes, you gotta be a dreamer, and
Man,
not that that's that far fetched, but if you can't visualize it, you can't talk
there you
about
go.
it, you can
Manifest it.
you gotta. That's exactly right. Manifestation. You know, working towards that goal, and getting to the goal. That's something that we're trying to do. We want to compete for a state championship.
Yeah,
We feel like we have a team uh, that if all goes well and we can stay
right.
injury free, and the way we're going to practice, we're trying to keep bodies fresh. If we can stay healthy, we feel like we can make a good run at trying to get something done in that final four round or better.
Yeah. Last one, coach, and you
Yep.
used a good word. Last one for you. You said visualization, and I'm sure the
Yeah.
administration can visualize it now. Your coaching staff, your parents, and now your student athletes can visualize it now with Coach Diesel and crew. It's time for Titusville to get back on top or get back where they need to be. But
That's right.
for the people watching, Coach, what's your message to the Titusville community, the alumni, the families, the young kids watching, the 8th, 7th graders? What's your long-term vision for this program, for this community, for this school? How do you plan on making this team matter across the state again, brother?
You know, that's great. What I can tell those people that you just mentioned is we are working on becoming a whole individual that
Yeah.
is exceptionally good as a football player.
Yes,
We are
sir.
working on kids to be contributing members of society.
Yeah,
We
man,
don't need knuckleheads. We need
man,
kids that
please,
are going to
dog.
go forward.
Jesus,
And
man.
we always talk about, Coach Folston, where I was at Coco. He played in the NFL. Love Coach Fo, one of my favorite guys I ever worked with. He always
Yeah.
say, each one teach one. So when you
Each
get
one
through
teach
this
one.
program, each one teach one. And when you get through this program, it's you're going to be it's going to be your responsibility
Yeah.
to come give back to where
Yeah.
you were and
Nah,
pass it to the next
big
generation.
time, man. That's big
Yeah.
time. So, hey, you former alum, you former Titusville guys.
Yep.
Even if you try to play something, you a Titusville kid, man. Come back to the program, speak to the kids so they can
Yep.
visualize and say, hey, that brother made it. I can do it. You know what I mean? That's big for our
Absolutely.
community, man. It's a show me community. So you got to show me. So, all right, coach, man, that's big. I hope the Brevard County community, dog, the city, especially Titusville people, appreciated that. I got Coach Diesel in the building, man. But before I let him go, I'm gonna do. I usually got Drew's Fast 5, but I'm gonna do Drew's Fast 3. Let's
Okay.
have some fun. I got 3 quick
Sure.
questions for you to kind of let the people know. Man, I know you guys are coaches and whatnot, man, but y'all ain't coaches all the time, man. You guys are human beings. So I
Oh
want to let
yeah.
the people know who y'all are when y'all take the hat off, man. Who is Coach Diesel? You feel me? So, all right. First question. Who is your favorite athlete, Coach? Who's the guy that made you fall in love with sports and why?
I would say, especially in my high school era, I always was a big fan of Zach Thomas, linebacker for the Miami
Oh, that's my
Dolphins.
second Zach
Uh,
Thomas, Coach. That's my
I
second
I
Zach
felt
Thomas.
Yeah, I felt like he was a relatable guy, especially
Yeah.
for myself. I certainly what didn't turn out to be 6'4", 240.
Nah,
He was
man,
a
we
guy that
short
was
kings around here, man.
yeah, yeah. He was I think he was 5'10" and a half, maybe a 5'11", but he's a
Yeah,
5'10"er.
yeah,
Not blessed with unbelievable speed, or he was
yeah.
just gritty,
Dog.
hard-nosed, tough
Yeah,
guy that uh, that encompassed my style of play
yeah,
that I wanted to emulate and be like, because
yeah,
he was able to get it done, and he
yeah.
wasn't the God's gift to being a physical specimen. He
No, I know
just
what you mean.
through
He
film
made it
study,
happen.
through hard work, he just got
Yeah,
it done. He got the job done. You're playing Tampa 2, and he's out
yeah.
covering the middle of the field, or they're
Now I'm
run.
telling
Here comes A
the
gap, and
young
he's
kids
still
don't
A
know
gap.
about it. The young kids don't know no Zach. They don't. If you young kids
Yeah,
are watching, that's my second Zach Thomas. Go watch it. Go watch a guy just make it happen. You know what I mean? So
yeah.
that's my
Zach
second one
Thomas
for him.
was probably my most influential football. Was my most influential. Sorry, come here,
Yeah, you
come here.
good, coach.
It's
they
it's
they
fun.
say it's time.
It,
They say it's time to wind down.
it's thundering here, and my French. Hang on one second. Come
We
here, man.
good.
Hold on.
Hey, we weren't
It's
all blessed with
thundering.
the big size like Coach Harvey as he sits in the background, dog. Him being a former Hurricane and whatnot. It's all good. Short Kings in the
Yeah,
building.
yeah. Here we
Look
are.
at him.
No,
There you
it's
go. There y'all
thundering.
go.
It's thundering outside. Having a
Hey,
heart attack.
they got camera time. They got camera time. It's all
Yeah.
good. Two more
What's
for you, Coach.
next? Yep.
Two more for you. We want to hear what Coach like to eat, man. What's your favorite post game, pre game, post camp, whatever it is, man? What's Coach like to eat on, man?
So I think my favorite thing to eat, and I will eat it until I'm sick
All
because I
right,
can't stop eating it. I
all
love
right.
spaghetti.
Hey,
I'm a
ain't
spaghetti
got
guy.
spaghetti yet, dog.
I'm
What
a
you got?
spaghetti guy.
What you
Uh,
Olive Garden? Got the wifey cooking you up? What you got, man?
you know, I really, I'm gonna be honest. I will take about any spaghetti, but I'll tell you, if you're in the mood for a quick fast, uh, Sbarro in the
That's a,
mall,
yeah. They got the
their
best spaghetti right now. That's a plug,
spaghetti
real
and
quick, man.
meatballs is
Hey,
not
man.
bad. You go to the Sbarro, their spaghetti and
Yeah,
meatballs will do in a pinch. I'll eat that till I'm
spaghetti and
sick.
meatballs, dog.
That and tacos. I like tacos, but yeah,
And
I guess I could
tacos
flip
too,
one
dog.
and it wouldn't matter.
Come on, man. Don't let us get Coach Diesel getting the bubble guts on us before the game,
Yeah,
dog. Don't
we
eat no
don't need no
tacos before the
problems. Yeah,
game, Coach.
yeah, none of that before the games. It's
Something like,
yeah,
Coach.
yeah, very, very.
I had to tease Coach a little bit. All right, Coach.
Yeah,
Last one, man.
yep.
If you weren't coaching sports, man, you never got into coaching sports, man. What you like doing outside of sports, man? Who's Coach Diesel outside of sports, brother?
That's I would probably so outside of football and stuff. Some of my passions are I ride I ride a Harley Davidson.
Oh man, we got there we go. You got a
I
whole
ride a Har
crew? Y'all go riding
yeah,
together or what?
we got a little bike night crew. Yep,
Gotta have it, dog. You gotta have the
Saturday
crew.
nights this time of the year are for riding Harleys. I like Harleys.
Hey,
I
coach,
love
hold on,
riding.
coach. Don't let Coach Diesel and crew pull up with the Harleys before the game, man. That's
Yeah, yeah.
you pull
No,
up with a couple kids on the Harleys, dog. Titusville in the building, man.
oh yeah, no. We roll up on the Harleys. You won't
Yeah,
miss us.
Telly pull up
Yeah.
with you, man.
Yeah, yeah, I like the Harleys.
There
We
you
race,
go. There you go.
me and my daughters. We race dirt bikes. I
Okay, there
like
you go.
boats, so I would have done some. I got to, I'm into boating. I would have probably been something full time. Maybe in the automotive world.
There you go.
Maybe
Good one. There you go.
automotive
That's
world. Not exactly sure.
man. You do a little fishing too? Would you like a little fishing,
Oh
coach?
yeah, oh yeah,
There
yep,
you
yep.
go.
We go to the
All right.
Keys every year. I like to go
Yes,
out here.
sir.
Yeah, oh yeah, we'll
Yes,
fish. A
sir,
scuba
man.
dive.
The scuba
Like to
diving.
shoot
All
fish.
right.
Yeah.
All right, man. We gotta take some of the Titusville kids, man. Y'all do some little team bonding, man. So who can fish out there a little bit. So who can get
Absolutely.
busy out there. All
Now I just
right,
got to
man.
find time to do that stuff again. Yeah.
Hey, well, it's getting close to the fall season, bro. It ain't none
It's
of
a
that.
wrap.
No, it's time to lock in. It's time to lock in.
See
But all
ya.
right,
Yeah.
this was big time for the Titusville community, man. I had to have Coach Diesel on. It's clear this is more than football for you, brother. It's about legacy, family, and community, man. From your days as a Terrier to building state title defenses at Coco, your journey's come full circle, brother. Titusville's in great hands, man, with a leader who understands grind and understands the glory, what it means to get to the glory. So, yeah, this was full circle, man. I really appreciate you for stepping up, doing a behind the playbook episode for us, giving us an inside look into the DNA and what you're trying to build in the Brevard County area, brother. I can say best of luck to you guys, but what y'all got going on, the coaching staff, the media team, the student athletes coming together, I know y'all going to make something happen. So I hope you appreciate it, Coach.
1 week at a time. That's it. That's
Yeah.
old coach talk, but that's really how it happens. 1 week at a time. We're gonna do the best we can. I appreciate you having me on.
It's deeper than rap, Coach. Much love, man. It's in the blood for you. Shouts out to the whole Diesel family. Y'all gonna make it happen,
Appreciate
Coach.
it.
We'll talk after this, brother. We'll stay connected. Thank you, brother.
You betcha.
Hope you enjoyed
Thanks so
this
much. I did.
sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, brother. Hey, that was Coach big time. Hey, that's Brevard, Titusville, man. Y'all got to be tapped in for that one. I see y'all on social media. It's a lot of talk going on, but sometimes you can't be a hater. You know what I mean? You gotta support your community, man. So shouts out to Coach Matt Diesel and crew. Definitely want to see them win. My dog PRMV made that happen for y'all. But all right, that was a heavyweight right there, but we're gonna keep it rolling. We got another heavyweight that's been waiting on me for a while in the background. We're joined by a man who's been a part of building one of Florida's most consistent and respected programs. With nearly a decade at the helm at Clearwater Central Catholic, Coach Chris Harvey has racked up 92 wins, 6 regional titles, and 3 straight trips to the state championship game. But more than that, it's about more than that, man. It's about more than wins, dog. He's helped mold a program rooted in culture, consistency, and character, man. Let's go behind the playbook with the man himself, Coach Chris Harvey. Hey, what's up, brother? How's it going? You're waiting on me for some time. My bad, Coach. Me and Coach Diesel got into it, as you see,
it was good.
man.
I was actually enjoying, I like hearing how other people do things and some good insight.
Coach Diesel got that energy, man. I like it. So, this is a big time show for me. If y'all tapped in, as I said, it's deeper than rap with this one. And Coach Harvey and them CCC boys, they really play ball. But, Coach, before we get into that, let's start at the beginning. Before CCC, before the state titles, you were part of those legendary Miami Hurricane program early 2000s, man. For those that don't know, Coach Harvey strapped it up, man. But how did your experience as a player at that level kind of shape your identity as a coach and a mentor today, brother?
Well, I coach today because of those people who coach me. I mean, I'm originally from Southern West Virginia. I grew up in a hometown of about 1,100 people.
Yeah.
You talk about culture shock, leaving Southern West Virginia when I graduated from high school in 1999. And then I remember the first day that I was walking through the Mahoney-Pearson dorms at the University of Miami campus.
Yeah.
The first person I met was a guy that became one of my best friends, Brian McKinney, and he stood 6'8", 350 pounds, and I thought, what in the world am I doing?
What is going on, man?
When I came from Miami, I was a walk-on for a semester.
Really? Really?
Yeah. I mean, it was Miami was just coming off some probation years, and I'll be the first one to admit to you, the teams that I had the ability to play on, I ended up being a special teams guy. To say that I was in over my head is a bit of an understatement, but the things that I learned, the people that I met, I mean, like I said, the reason I coach, I had a great junior high coach in Harvey Arms in West Virginia. I had a great high school coach in William Tootie Carter, who passed away last year. And I coached because our offensive line coach at Miami was a guy named Arthur Francis Kehoe, and he was just an incredible human being. But our special teams coordinator was a guy named Don Solinger, who was a longtime South Florida high school head coach, won some state championships at Southridge, had 2 or 3 different stints as an assistant coach at Miami. But just seeing the energy and passion they had for the game, the way that they were able to compete on a daily basis, and that's that's sort of why I do what I do. I like to sort of throw into kids and sort of create experiences and opportunities for them. And when I finished playing, like you said, I'm biased, but I'm just being honest. The greatest college football team of all time was the 2001 Miami Hurricane team. I mean,
hey, Coach,
think about one team that has
Coach.
Well, I'm 5-0 against the Noles, so that's okay.
Look.
So you play with 26 first-round draft picks, and people think that those draft picks are because of talent, and talent has a lot to do with it. But
for sure,
the way that the guys that I played with approach the game, approach practice, approach training, approach preparation. I think when I decided to go into coaching, which was very, early after my playing days was over, I sort of think, you don't create guys with that approach. You just hope you can find them. You know what I mean? I think that when you have enough guys that sort of buy into the how, the what really doesn't matter as much. And I think that's sort of what we've done here is just put the emphasis on the how and let the what take care of itself. So
well, 2 things I'll piggyback off that, Coach. The first one is real quick. West Virginia was one of the most beautiful states I've ever been to. You know what I mean?
Is, Coach. Not was, is.
It might be is, dog. Because I'm a nature guy anyway. I'm mountains. I go to the mountains every year for my birthday. But man, that was unmatched when you talk about scenes and beautiful whatever to look at, dog. That was crazy, Coach. But you be in a hurry. I'm a no, dog. I ain't gonna let you shoot over that, man. I remember y'all beating up on us in them 2000 days. Even the Gators used to beat up on us a little bit. But
now everybody beats up on you. That's okay.
What you say, Coach? What you say?
Now everybody beats up on you. It's okay now. I mean,
for sure. But
I'm just playing. I got to be careful because I was like I said, I coached in college for about 12 years before I came here. I spent 5 years at Florida State. I was a coach there from 2007 to 2012. Had a good run there.
Been inside the program.
I have. You seen it's a good place. I was able to. You talk about coaches that sort of. Build and craft the way you do things. I was able to work for Coach Bowden for 2 years.
Oh my goodness! Don't tell me you was around Coach Bowden.
I did. He was he's by far the greatest man ever been around. And then, I am a West Virginia guy. So when Coach Fisher took over and Coach Fisher, we've got a West Virginia tie there. So I was able to stick around for a few years after that. So it was a good experience. Not all of Tallahassee is bad. I root for them about 10 or 11 games out of the year, but there's one that I just can't do. So
what I get from that though is just the wealth of knowledge. You being a sponge. I know you as a sponge, Coach. Being around all them guys, big time names, and then them growing up to be, men themselves and coaching. And
I mean, the thing about Coach Bowden, the thing about Coach Bowden that everybody they think they understand, but until you're able to be in a room with him, the way he would handle kids and kids from everywhere. I mean, when you're talking about top-notch programs in college football, there's kids that come from every walk of life that you could possibly bring.
Yes, sir.
And for him to be able to connect and reach all of them, inner city kids, country kids. I mean, he was able to reach them, teach them, and be able to be that mentor. And there's no guessing why he was as successful as he was, but at the same time, I mean, it was a pleasure of mine and pretty much anybody else had the opportunity to sort of
to be around him.
He was.
Well, you hold on, can't skip over this. You was around Mickey Andrews too.
He was. That's coaches. Coach to this day, I'll send him a text, a couple times a year just to say hey, and You know, he always responds. He's one of the greatest men I've ever been around. You know, people forget. You know, Coach Bowden, rightfully so, gets a lot of credit, but
man, Mickey, dog,
defensive played there. He was there, I think, 27 years, or maybe
my favorite defensive coordinator of all time, man. Yeah, I was there for a while.
He was a good one. You know, Coach Deion Sanders, you know, credits Coach Andrews for a lot of what he is. So, I mean, I think
everything
that
he knows,
says a lot.
he credits it to Mickey, dog.
My
mom, I'm sure my mom's listening. My Uncle Brian's listening right now. I hear you talk about that. They're smiling from ear to ear.
Yeah.
I was born in Mariana. I'm Polk County, baby. You know what I mean? But I was born in Mariana, right around the corner. So my baby pictures, I'm a Noel. You know what I mean? But I'll stop talking about the Noels. I'm sure you being a former Miami fan, you're tired of that. But all right, Coach. You now entering in your 10th season at CCC, man. But hold on, 92 wins, 3 straight title appearances. That kind of consistency doesn't come easy. People see it on social media, whatnot, might not be around it. That's tough, man. But what's been the key, I guess, to kind of sustaining a winning culture? And how have your players, your staff, and even your alumni kind of poured into building something bigger than football, Coach?
Well, you can't talk about the success that we've had here and not mention my father. My father-in-law was John Davis. He was the head coach here for 2 different stints. And
yes, sir.
I actually, when I left college football in 2015, I came here and just coached the defensive line for a year. And we talked about, you know, playing for the coaches that I was able to play for, and then working for the coaches that I was able to work for prior to coming here. You know, all of those were at the collegiate level. So then to be able to come here and see how he did things and how successful he was as a coach, and sort of mimic those things as I started to take, you know, over after that first year. I mean, I can't thank him enough for the things that he were able to do. But, you know, you talk about how do you create culture? It takes kids to create stuff like that. We have had kids that buy into our processes. It's not easy to be here. It's not easy to play for me. You know, I'm not the easiest guy to get along with, because I have a standard that I like to keep, and I'm a bit stubborn at times. You can ask all my former players, but I would say that we've been lucky to have kids and families and parents that buy in and trust us to be able to. You know, we're demanding. I mean, we're here now. It's July. We're in week, I think, 6 of our summer program. Monday through Friday, our kids are here from 8 to 11:30 every day.
Man, there you go,
relatively small program. I mean, I think when we start the season, we'll have probably 63, 64 kids in our program. That's both JV and varsity, and we have on average 55
JV and varsity?
50 to 55 kids that show up every day of the week. You know, and I think showing up is the first step toward being able to take full advantage of what we're offering and what we're trying to do. And it goes a long way. You know, we have talent. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that we haven't had really good players, but we've had guys that, you know, that old saying is, when your best players are your hardest workers, then great things can happen. Well, we're, I think, 92-23 over 9 seasons, because our best players have been our hardest workers. And that still continues today. I mean, I'm sure you'll talk about the last 3 years we had a senior class that just graduated, and we could go on and on about all of those kids. 17 kids, I think 14 of them that were, you know, they were
college.
Huge. Yeah, 12 of the 17 are you know,
that's a great number.
Yeah, it is, especially in this day, Coach. I mean, I heard you talk with Coach from Titusville about the changes in college recruiting. It's tough. I don't like it. I mean, I think that, you know, there's a lot of opportunities that are being missed for high school kids because of the way in the culture and the landscape of college. But it is what it is. You know what I mean? And as coaches, we have to sort of make sure that we educate our guys and have them understand that you know, there are fewer opportunities than before. But the way we look at it is, and you know, some people may, you know, question me saying this, but it's the truth. I think our guys have been under recruited over the years anyway.
Right.
A lot of our guys have, you know, played at levels that maybe they were better than, because maybe they're a little bit smaller. They're, you know, their 40 times, or their finger lengths aren't big.
You know,
I was a strength coach in college, and some of the things
for anything.
I don't really know. I don't really know what some of that has to do with your playmaking ability. But we've had guys that go places, and when we send people to college, they don't go and participate; they go and dominate. So I think that is. That's something that we hang our hats on. So the approach has changed. You know, before the kid was under recruited, he just went to a smaller school and dominated and graduated. Now, with the way it is, I mean, my kids would laugh at me because I'm going to call myself an optimist, which nobody ever says that. But and I think now with the way it is, the way you have to look at it is take that opportunity and grow from it. You know what I mean? Just because you're recruited as a D2 player, there's an avenue out there that allows you to go dominate the way we have and grow. And, you know, if you decide that, you know, you want to take opportunities to allow you to move somewhere else and improve your standing and go to a bigger school for whatever that means, there's a way to do that now. So, I mean, just trying to look at things differently and educate them. You know, it's not where you start, it's where you finish. I think that matters. And like I said, I started that, you know, that's the approach we try to teach. I don't like it. I think there's a lot of lessons that are being missed because of the way that things are right now. But at the same time, I mean, we don't make the rules. We just got to live by them. So I think that that's something that we're pushing to our kids. And like I said, you know, we had 12 kids of a graduating class of 17. All 17 of our graduating seniors are enrolled in 4-year colleges or universities.
There you go. There you go. Sort of that's success, Coach. That's success.
And that's the most important thing. I think that, you know, sometimes success attracts some attention. And we've had a lot of success recently, but the success we've had on the field nowhere near matches the success our kids have had off the field and being able to move on in life and do some things. I mean, we've got a couple people in the NFL right now. We've also got a couple of doctors and lawyers. And to me, those are all the same in my book. And they've been able to go out and hopefully take a little bit that we've given them and make the best of it as far as their lives are concerned.
Hey, we have some of those former football players back, but let's have some of them former doctors and stuff come back too. Like, hey, man, everybody's not going to make it, man. Let's be realistic. So, but you can pursue other avenues. That's why I appreciated Coach him educating the kids. Like, hey, man, some of you guys are going to have to go get a trade. Some of you guys are going to have to be electricians. Some of you guys are going to have to learn how to be welders. But man, there's so many opportunities you can have. Entrepreneurship, you know, financial literacy. You got to learn these things along the journey so you don't put yourself in a box. So, the other thing I want to touch on real quick is kids being realistic, man. I talked about it with Coach Thomas. Sometimes you might got to start at a smaller school. You got to be realistic, man. But you go there 2 years, use their weight room training, use their nutrition regimen. You go be an All-American for 2 years. You go be an all-district player. The bag and the opportunity start growing. You come back home, come back to USF, come back to UCF, ball. You know what I mean? Now your NFL opportunity opens up. So, you know, just enjoy your journey, enjoy the process. Don't go looking at other people's you know what I mean? That's their lane. You know, control what you can control and just enjoy the process, man. Because football is not going to be here forever. And the time goes by quick. Me being a young brother, I know that. It goes quick, man. It goes quick. But Coach, let me ask you, man. I ain't gonna lie, because it's no secret, man. I don't know if you got a hidden Newton over there or what, but I keep hearing about this Newton family, man, and their impact they've had on CCC. Me being a Polk County kid, I'm like, man, who are these guys? But for those who don't know the legacy, brother, can you kind of take us behind the curtain, explain what that family has meant to your program, and I guess how they kind of influence or help shape this program and run in this run of success, brother?
Well, I'm a numbers guy, so you'll have to follow me for a minute. And I've said this all the time because it pretty much speaks for itself.
There you go.
I've been the head coach here for 9 seasons. As a head coach, our teams have been 92 and 23.
Yes, sir.
I've had a Newton on our team every year but one. The 1 year that we didn't have a Newton, we were 5-5. The other years that we had a Newton, that makes us 87 and 18.
Oh, you got to have a hidden Newton over there, Coach, or something.
Well, we've got 2 Newtons that have been enrolled here. There's 2 cousins.
Y'all thought he was done.
No. We, you know, I say this all the time, that the Newton father, and you got to go through this. The father Javon and the mother Javita they've become good friends of mine, and not just because
they had to.
They're great people. They raise kids the right way. You know,
yes, sir.
Big Mom tells people all the time that, you know, when his oldest sons, who were the twins that graduated with my first year as a head coach, when they first came to CCC was when they were freshmen. They didn't even play high school football. Wow. They wanted to put their sons into a school that could help them get where they wanted to be academically.
Yes, sir.
And they felt safe sending their kids to. So football wasn't even a part of the picture at that time, which tells you and says a lot about them as families. So they have 5 sons that have played here. The 2 twins are Jervon and Jerquan. They both played and won a national championship at the University of West Florida, graduated in 2017. The third son is Jerwan, who graduated in 2019. He just broke a bunch of records at the University of Toledo as a receiver, and he's currently
still balling. There you go.
He's still with the Denver Broncos right now.
Broncos.
Yeah, he's with the Broncos now. Yeah. Johnny Jerzon, he was the fourth son. He's the one that most people know of. He was
that's what I heard.
All-American at Illinois.
Yeah.
He was a second-round draft pick of the Washington Commanders, so he's
another
doing
NFL
really well for himself.
Man.
And then the baby was the one that graduated last year in the class of 2025. Shawnee was a quarterback here for us. He signed to go to Illinois. I was writing some stats down for Shawnee. In his 4 years here, we were 46-11, 8-4 as a freshman when he didn't even start a quarterback. So he's had a pretty good run for himself as a starting quarterback. He played. I would say he played in 3 state championships, but he played in the first 2, and then in the state semifinal game last year, he had an injury that kept him out of the state championship game.
I do remember that, Coach. Damn.
A lot of as a whole, the Newton family has been great for us. The Vaughn, the running back, the oldest twin, is now currently here's our running back coach. He graduated.
He's still around the program.
That's huge to me. That's something that was big at Miami when I was there. People who graduated and the pride they had in the program. Yep. And I tell people all the time, it usually takes about a year because, like I told you, I'm not the easiest person to get along with, and we have a pretty high standard. I hire coaches that are the friendly guys. I'm not usually the friendly guy, but after that year, the greatest thing and the greatest accomplishment that I personally can have is that these guys still come back. They bought in. They trusted us while they were here, and they believe in us now that they've been through. We ask a lot of them, and they don't fail us. And the Newtons were one of the many families. We have 2 or 3 different families that have sent multiple sons through our program.
Really, that's why it's deep in the wrap for this show, man. CCC boys, I feel like they stick together. That's kind of a family environment when I look.
And then now we do have a cousin and a nephew. The cousin.
Newtons? My goodness!
The cousin Malik Newton, which I'm sure you'll hear his name, is a 6'3", 195. He is very similar to what your one was. Receiver
6'3" already.
The young freshman Isaiah Newton, which I feel I'm really hesitant to mention his name because he's a Newton. But with that being said, he's long, fast, athletic, and he's a Newton, so he's coachable. You can coach him hard. So too much of our competition's dislike. Shawnee may have graduated, but there's still Newtons in the water here. So
I see, man. Hey, if y'all that's tapped in that Clearwater area, I thought it was over with. He done reloaded. Put 2 more in the chamber for y'all who thought it was
we're
done.
Excited about that. So.
Shouts out to the Newton family. Just for people that's watching that might be looking on it outside in. I know we see it a lot, especially the kid from last year, what he was able to do. I'm like, man, what's up with these Newtons, man? And what are they doing out there in CCC that other people can kind of look into? So, and Coach, you just mentioned this, man. You mentioned your coaching staff, man. It's all the head coach has to have things in place, right? It has to have things in place for things to roll. But in my opinion, man, it takes the men around the program. It takes your coordinators, your position coaches. They got to be locked in. You know what I mean? Yeah. And a lot of the times, these guys are still in the community. They're part-time firefighters. You know what I mean? They're still helping around the community. So it's bigger than football of having role models around the program. So just kind of talk about your coaching staff a little bit and highlight some of those guys, brother.
Well, I think, before I start mentioning them, by name, I think the consistency in our coaching staff has been one of the things that's, sort of put us over the top. We've had, our wide receiver coaches, we've had 2 that work together here. Coach Rod Williams is a guy he's a St. Pete legend. If you're a wide receiver that had success, at the collegiate level, at the NFL level. If I started naming the names that Coach Rod had worked with, and then we call him Coach Amen. We're a Catholic school. We don't hide behind that. Character and building up with a faith and love for God is something that we take pride in. And Coach Rod does a great job of supporting that mission. I think it's important important for our kids. I mean, and then, like I said, the consistency of it. I've had quite a few offensive coordinators who are still in the program, but there's been some switchover. But, I started here as a defensive coordinator. All of my defensive coordinators that I've had since I stepped away from it are still on staff, and so what we've done hasn't changed much. We got a great offensive line coach in Tim Burnham, who's done a phenomenal job. Which I hope he's not watching it, because I can't afford to hear him, hear a compliment. But we got my brother-in-law back on staff now as the offensive coordinator, who was a quarterback at NC State, played here back in the early 2000s.
There you go.
We've got some young guys in our program. Like I said, Coach Vaughn is back with us. He understands probably better than anybody on our staff what I expect, because he played under me. It is my goal before I finish this, if it's in 4 years or if in 20 years, is I think that the more of our former players that can be in our program, giving back, coaching, scoring is important. On the defensive side of the ball,
that'd be nice.
It's becoming a thing, what is a CCC boy? Sometimes
what is a CCC boy, Coach? I was out there at Georgia State, like, man, I'm like, CCC boy is this, CCC boy is that. What is a
CCC boy? Will surprise you, Coach. When they walk through the door, when you look at them, you may think, okay, but then when they start competing and they start moving, and start working, there's just I don't know. It's a look, it's an approach. And like I said,
I feel like it's the St. Pete, though. I feel like people are sleeping on St. Pete in general. You know what I mean? St. Pete got ballers out there. From CCC to Lakewood. It's NFL talent in the area. Like me being from Polk, I didn't know how much they had. Andy had to put me on game. I'm like, damn, they play ball out of St. Pete. So,
and the crazy part about Pinellas County as a whole, Pinellas County as a whole has 1 million people in it.
Pinellas County. I'm the Pinellas County. I'm talking about St. Pete, the whole county, brother. There you go. There you go.
Yeah, and then I think that, like you said, that is an overlooked area. The great thing about our program is we have people in our program from as far south as Gulfport and as far north as Hudson and Pasco County.
So big county, man. A lot of different areas going on. I just say the Tampa Bay area, because it's a lot going on in the area. So for sure. Defensive side of the ball, Coach. Who you got on there?
The defense side of the ball, our defense coordinator is Coach Rich Robbins, who, I tell you what, he sort of landed in our lap about 4 or 5 years ago. He was a former head coach at Canisius High School, Canisius Jesuit School in Buffalo, who had won. He'd won 4 state championships in the state of New York. So success breeds success. So whenever you bring that on to the staff, is something that really helps. Our linebacker coaches, we have an inside linebacker coach named Brian Cooper, who he's been here for 6 or 7 years with me, off and on, and he's great. He connects with our guys, especially our St. Pete kids, and he's demanding. He's energetic. Our outside linebacker coach, Coach Keith Milner, he's been here. He's probably coached more positions for me than anybody on our staff, because there's a hole that needs to be filled.
Utility piece, Coach.
He's a football guy.
He's utility coach.
If you ask him, he probably says he's an offensive guy, but he does such a great job. Teaching is important for our program. You know what I mean? We can accumulate all the talent that you could possibly want, but the way that we do things and the expectations we have to be able to teach our kids what we're trying to do.
Sir. Develop them too.
He's great at that. We got a local Gibbs legend, Jarrell Young, coaches. He's one of our DB coaches. He's a player at South Florida, great player. And then Greg Hansel is another DB coach we have. So our defensive staff is pretty well put together. I didn't mention the guy on the offensive side. Tim Ross he's our head JV coach. He worked for a while as a running back coach, and we moved him recently to our tight ends and fullbacks position, which, the one thing about us offensively, we're a big tight end. At least we're a 2-back team. We're a 11 personnel team. We do a lot of different things, but a tight end position, if we can
you got a legit one. You got a legit one there, Coach. Well, I'm going to talk about here soon. But
we've been lucky in my time here. I mean, we got a tight end that won 2 national championships at Georgia and is one of the top players at Georgia Tech right now, and Brett Seither. And the kid that we have here now, Brody Church, who you're alluding to, is almost fitting in with Brett Seither. I mean,
Coach.
he can do some things, so we're excited.
But
Tim Ross was a guy that he was a former youth league coach, and high school football is about connections. You know what I mean? And Tim did a great job. He's not coaching youth league anymore, but at the same time, he has a lot of those connections. A lot of our kids, those St. Pete kids you're talking about, they're here because of that connection to him. And the greatest part about Tim is that, you know, he's been here, I think, 5 years, 6 years, and kids that graduated 3, 4, 5 years ago. Tim, how's this kid doing? How's Nate Johnson doing at Boston College? Well, I talked to him the other day, and he said this. Well, how's this kid doing? Well, he said this. So I think that, you know, I try to do a good job of my spot of staying in my spot of staying in touch with those guys and making sure that they realize we're still somebody for them. But Tim is great. He's a guy that he invested in those kids, and he's still investing in those kids. And I think that's something that those kids will never forget. And so kudos to him for that.
You need, man, like I said, Coach, you need, especially being a successful program like you guys have, you need those type of men around the program, man. I don't care what nobody says, man. You have to have it. It's critical, you know what I mean? But, man, I want to ask, you talk about Brody Church. I'm going to get into that later. I'm going to save that one. But really quick, Coach, you know how critical, let's talk about the offseason for you guys. You know how critical it is being a Florida boy, West Virginia, but Florida is a little different. It's an old animal down here, even the South. That spring period, those 20 practices, man, are crucial. You know what I mean? Being with you guys, being with your staff and whatnot. But talk about, you know, the offseason for you guys, the development, the chemistry, the leadership that's popping. You know, what did this offseason kind of reveal to you about this group? No Newton at the top, you know what I mean? And I guess, how did they respond to the challenge, man? You know, Coach don't play the radio. You know, what did you learn about this team this offseason, Coach?
Well, first I have to talk. You mentioned spring ball and offseason. If there's an advantage that I feel like we have over other programs, it is the fact that football here is a year-round sport. Now
it is. Yeah, there you go,
I'm going to say that, and then I heard what Coach was saying. We also love when our kids play other sports. We've got kids that play basketball.
There you go.
We've got baseball players. We've got wrestlers, but we have good relationships within our coaching staffs to where, you know, track season comes around, and you know our track coach. Natalie Cleveland does a great job of working with us and understanding that our guys are football players that want to run track. And so
they have to.
As long as there's an understanding of that, and I am support of her, our kids have seen great gains from running track. When I first couple of years I was here, it was like pulling teeth to get kids to run track because they felt like it was taking away from football, but sort of investing some time with that and having them understand the importance of that. And, you know, one of the things that a lot of college coaches ask right now, which is sort of funny, is, hey, you know, what other sports, what else does he do? You know what I mean? And I know when I was working in college,
track?
Kids,
How many times they ask you that, Coach, for the people that's watching?
Everything.
Does he run track? What does he run? 100? They ask that.
The day of sport, you know, specializing to me is it's sort of diminished the ceiling of players a little bit. So, but with that being said, I mean, our off-season program is important to us. Spring football, you know, you play in 3 straight state championship games.
Yes, sir.
You lose 17 seniors.
Man.
You lose your quarterback. You lose your Newton.
Newton. For real.
And the funny thing is, Coach, as I sit here after the last workout of the week, or actually we have a quarterback school in the morning, is I start thinking about, you know, the theory that all is lost because of everything we've lost to this point. But there's so many sort of diamonds in the rough that people don't understand or see.
Yes, sir.
And they're growing and they're maturing. And I'm not going to sit here and say that we're going to have a better season, but we're more talented now than we've ever been. I mean, we've got length, we've got speed, we've got size, we've got people that people don't even know about that are here every day busting their hump. So I'm sort of excited, as I hope you can tell, because
I see it on you, Coach.
Our former players are like, you know, Coach, people just don't understand. It's not just you know, cookie cutter place in kids. It's how we do things that matter, and we've been lucky enough, and we're still keep calling it lucky, I guess. The 55 kids.
No, I ain't lucky, Coach. You done set the foundation.
They do the right things the right way, and I'm sort of excited to see. As far as the expectation for those guys that are sort of stepping into those new roles, I mean, you have a quarterback that, you know, we have a kid named Chase Barrett who's taken over a quarterback for us this year.
Talk about him, Coach. You leading into it for me. What's Chase look like, Coach?
The thing about Chase, Coach, is Chase is our T. Martin. I told him this. You know, he didn't even know who T. Martin was, but You think about, when Peyton Manning was at Tennessee and he was,
for sure,
Heisman this and greatest player ever, and he was amazing, and first round draft pick, first overall pick. The year after he left, T. Martin took over, and they won a national championship. You know what I mean? And a lot of that has to do with the approach
don't know that
that guy took. I mean, Shawnee Newton's gone. Shawnee Newton's going to be playing football on Saturdays and Sundays, but that doesn't mean that the goal and objective changes here. And the greatest thing about Chase now is that he has some, when we're playing in the state championship with a sophomore, when our horse is on the sidelines, we're thinking, man, this is rough. And it was, what I mean? Because I think the outcome would have been, a lot different. But that experience of he started and won a regional championship game. Chase did last year because of another injury that Shawnee had. And then to play in a state championship game. And when you turn the film on, now were there some things that he has to get better at? Yeah, but there was also a kid that rushed for 130 yards against Chaminade Madonna. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things that our own players and people in our program were able to see him do. And it's just it's an excitement that you usually don't have when you're replacing a player like Shawnee. So we're excited for him. Our T. Martin for the
T. Martin. Hey, that's a good comparison right there too. Hey, but Coach, I want to ask you, man, you don't got to give away too much, right? If y'all don't know Chase Barrett, it's a strong frame kid, athletic, and he gonna run a lot of y'all over this year. I'm sorry, what I mean? He gonna run a lot of y'all over, but for those that don't know, don't give away too much, Coach. But what's your vision? You know what I mean? It's a little different than Newton, you know what I mean? A little different frame, a little different skill sets that he has, but he can spin the rock. I've seen Chase throw it a lot of times this offseason being with Slimy Boys, but what's your vision for him kind of building around his skill set, Coach?
We don't have to do a lot as far as, the play that's called from the sideline is not much different than from the last 3 years.
Okay.
But the thing with Shawnee is it was, if you're talking about a three-way read with Shawnee, it was 1-2 me. You know what I mean?
1-2 me.
With Chase, the thing that we feel like that's going to allow us to offensively take that next step is that, he's going to have the ability and the frame. I mean, you're looking at a kid that's 5'11", 6 foot, 225 pounds, and runs a 4.6, 4.7 40. So the physicality that everyone's used to having with Shawnee, who's another big kid, is still there.
Right.
But the thing I'm excited about is, too, the fact that he can, dip his shoulder, pop the ball up, and throw it pretty much all over the field.
He can throw that ball.
And he's got a lot of dudes to throw it to, too. So I'm excited about that, Not that we haven't had. I mean, we've got a receiver at Bowling Green. We've got in Caleb Goodlow, and we've got Shamar Rigby that played here for us. That's at Oklahoma State now.
CCC boys, dog.
But we've got some kids here. I mean, I don't know if we're going to have time to talk about personnel, but we talked about Malik Newton, that is a big receiver. We have a kid named Pharaoh Tillman that just came here in the spring. Great spring for us. Yeah,
I haven't heard of him yet, Coach. You got to send me him.
Yeah, and then we have a kid named Davion Jackson, a big 6'4", 175-pound kid.
Two big boundary receivers.
Too big
to go with this guy right here, one of my favorite kids in the offseason. You know where I'm going.
You know
I'm going White Lightning.
Mr. West Virginia himself.
Luke Wilson gonna cook you.
Yeah. Luke is he's a special player. I mean, I got to give a shout out to his mama, Brianna Brown Wilson, who I graduated from high school in West Virginia.
So it's in the genes for the Wilsons,
genes, yeah. But Luke he's a special player. I mean, a lot of people, we haven't always been very present on the 7-on-7.
For sure.
Luke is he's a player in that element, and I'm excited to see him.
Man,
with 11
is he gonna? Because I seen you had him at DB a little bit too. I know he gonna cook in that slide, especially if you got two boundary guys. They put a safety over the top.
Yeah.
I don't know too many DBs that's gonna be able to stay in front of a Luke Wilson, but is he a DB too? Like, what is he?
No, he's a coach. You talked about before what is a CCC kid? Well, Luke is a CCC kid. You talk about he's a slot receiver. Sure.
Yeah.
He's
wherever
a guy
you need me
to line up in the backfield and run jet sweeps with, but you can put him in the corner because I think the one characteristic of a CCC guy is that they're just football players.
Yes,
you know what I mean? And you know, position specifics, that's out the door with us. You know what I mean? Offensively, how many different ways can we get our best players to football? How many different positions?
Thank goodness somebody's like that.
And so that's important to us. Now, it's not easy, you know, and from game to game, it doesn't always work that way. But
for sure,
you know, we're sitting here as a staff in the off season, and we've got 5 or 6 guys that offensively that we want to get 5 or 6 touches somehow. You know what I mean?
It's hard.
That's a lot of touches across the board, but at the same time, when you have that talent, you got to at least prepare yourself to be able to do that. And I think that's something that players like Luke can, you know, be successful with, is because there's so many different ways that we can use him. You know what I mean? He's a football savvy, tough kid.
Yeah.
West Virginia kid. We're all tough. So
come on, dog. The West Virginia, man. If y'all are watching, man, please.
And you mentioned him earlier. You talk about twin towers outside. You talk about a slot receiver inside. You talked about a tight end in Brody Church that is a dude now. He's a dude.
Hey, y'all don't be scared. I'm talking the schedule. I mean, but quarterback that's gonna run you over, run between the tackles. Hold on. You got a running back too that just came over there. Corey over there now too.
He is, Coach.
Oh my goodness, Coach. Now you got a running back.
We've talked about throwing. We've talked about throwing the ball long enough now.
There you go, Coach. Get ground
offensively.
Talk about the trenches too, Coach. Trenches real quick too.
Offensively, the last 4 years, we've averaged about 5,700 yards of offense a year. With that being said, we've averaged over 3,000 yards a year rushing. Last year, we almost got to 4,000 yards rushing. We had 3 tailbacks, 3 running backs.
Y'all had the Sean Kuno kid too. I really liked him, Coach. I see him at camp. I thought he was going to be good. Yeah,
Nazir Hutchinson rushed for 1,000, and Shawnee Newton.
Nazir Hutchinson too. God, dang, you got 3 guys I'm looking at right now that almost average 100 yards a game.
Yeah. So
what kind of offensive line do you got? Jesus Christ!
We got our offensive line this year. Is sort of crazy to say this because he's been playing here forever, but he's still like a pup to us. We have a cat named DeJuan Davis, who is 390 pounds. And
390. Oh, come on,
He is a big joker.
Is that muscle? Or is it baby fat?
A lot of it.
Oh,
you know, ain't nobody 390 all muscle, Coach.
There ain't nobody in the world. You ain't got no fat on you, dog.
But with that being said, I mean, he's started him and DJ Pouncey, or DJ is a defensive tackle for us, but those kids are going to end up, you know, playing in close to 50 games. You know what I mean? We played. Well, actually, I take that back. They've already almost played in 50 games.
Yeah, I'm about to say, yeah.
In their first 3 years, they played 15 games a year, so they're at 45 games.
They're going deep in the playoff, Coach. They're going deep.
The experience factor is huge for those. DeJuan is probably going to be the only senior we have that starts on the offensive line, which is the exciting part about when we start talking about the future. Well, the future is now, but we have a youth movement here. Our freshman and sophomore class, I think, like I said, we have 63, 64 kids. 45 of them are freshmen and sophomores, and they're not the normal CCC freshmen and sophomore.
Right.
We have 2 offensive linemen that are freshmen, sophomores that are 6'4", 315 apiece. I mean, big kids, big athletic kids. We've won a lot of games with some guys that didn't look that part. Now, they played the part. They didn't look the part. Now, the exciting part is we got some guys that look the part, and we hope that we can, you know, continue to play the part too.
For sure. Any other, as we wind down, time's winding. I don't want to. I got this 2-hour thing. I got to upgrade this plan, but it might cut us off at 2 hours. Any other under the radar dogs? I don't want you giving out too much. Maybe 1 or 2 that people might not know if college coaches are watching that need to be on the radar.
Well, I mean, we've got some young defensive linemen, but I mentioned DJ Pouncey. DJ starts at nose for us. He's a 6 foot, 310-pound kid. He's, you know, we've had a lot of success, you know,
6 foot, 300
quarterback.
Jesus.
But he's been like the mainstay for us. Tyreek Harris is a linebacker that's committed to Toledo. He played edge for us.
Oh yeah, I did see him. Yeah.
Now we've moved into wheel linebacker. Somebody ought to slap me for playing that guy on the edge and not putting him where he can run around. But now he's there to play. We got a kid named Papa Wilson, Tavarin Wilson, and Josiah Smith. They're 2 corners. Josiah Smith is starter for us. This will be his 4th year. So this is a kid that started Jeremiah Smith in 2 state championship games. So, when you have that on your, not that he stopped him every time, which who does? And you see him play on Saturday, and nobody stops Jeremiah Smith. But we've got talent busted at the seams. Now we just got to try to put things together.
I see. It's crazy. I knew it was talent over there, but man, you got hidden gems too. Yeah. That offense is loaded. If that trenches is like you said it is, with them skill guys, with a tight end, an H-back, like, man, I don't know who going, man, Chaminade. We know that's going to be it at the end. That's crash course. You know what I mean? That's going to be the crash course. But before this, I think before it cut, Coach, as we close, you've been at 10th year, right? So you've been this long term, 3 straight title appearances. But for the people that's watching, for the Mortars, I guess for the community, man, what can they expect for you guys this year? New look, whatever. Same thing, like you said, though. Tate's going to still be able to do what Newton do. There's going to be some running going on, you feel me? But what can